Another beautiful day to draw comics. Welcome everybody to the live stream extravaganza. We're streaming on Twitch, on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube until they shut us down. I'm going to be working on Phobos today. And, oh wait, I just saw something. Actually, we have a brand new member of the Brew Crew, Timothy Bowden. Timothy, if you go to the chat that's specific to, the community tab that is for members only, you can have a link to actually see Phobos and you can read it. Here it is. I sent everybody a link to chapter 3. You guys can see all the pages that I've been working on. And that's for anyone who's a Brew Crew member. If you just subscribe to the YouTube channel, I'll send you stuff like that. That's not available to the public, just to patrons, just to members. So we got a special guest today. We got Mr. Eric Weathers. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing well, Jason. How you doing?
Good. And I hear you have a new Kickstarter campaign happening. Not Kickstarter. Sorry, I offended everyone. A new Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah, I do. It's called Battle Brick Road, and it is, in short, it is a military version of the Wizard of Oz, but it gets a little bit deeper than that.
Well, if you want to share your screen, you're more than welcome to show it off. We'll just be hanging out drawing.
Okay.
And so you can share what you're drawing on. You can share your campaign. I can't seem to get my... Oh. So, but we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. So,
okay.
You got it right there.
Got it right here.
Battle Brick Road.
Battle Brick Road. This is like I said, a military take on the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy Gale, on a lifelong mission to find her dad, who was taken from her when she was very young. She gets a message about 15 or 20 years later from him. In all the years she was trying to find him, she couldn't. And he finally finds her and says, "Dorothy, I'm here. This is where you'll find Oz, because it's been missing as well. This is where you'll find Oz, and you'll find me when you get here. And when you do get here, follow the Yellow Brick Road." And she embarks on a quest. She picks up a couple of rascals along the way to go help find her dad. So
that's cool. That looks beautiful. Beautiful artwork and coloring.
Yeah.
Is Tin Man a robot?
Yes, he is.
Awesome. I'm in.
Yeah. So Tin Man is a robot, a former wood cutting robot that was converted to be a soldier for a big war that happened in this Oz land that is sort of lore now in our story, sort of like it's history now for when we get there. Scarecrow is a loner. He's more of a legend in the woods of this masked man who will do whatever it takes. And Lion is a fallen warrior who was once the leader of the Watcher West, and he decided to hang it up, and he didn't want to fight anymore. And so our character Thea Gale falls into this world, quite literally, and discovers everything that's been going on here for the past several years.
That looks great, man.
Thank you.
Especially like the Scarecrow design.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks. I'm getting a lot of people enjoying that, so I feel like it's always good to hear, you've got a good design on your hands. So
it's a tactical Scarecrow. Yeah,
very tactical. a lot of guns, a lot of fun in this one.
Those gloves, man, those things.
Say that again.
What was
Fingerless gloves.
Fingerless gloves. There's a lot of fingerless gloves going on here. We got to do that.
It does well. It sells well.
Yeah. They do
Protect
have
your
a-
hands, but also, you still have the dexterity.
Nice. Well, that's
So, yeah.
great, man. Well, are you working on pages as we speak?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to get it all set up here still,
Cool.
but
Okay.
working on pages right now. So,
Sounds good.
yeah. Yeah, but if anybody wants to go check it out, you can just go to battlebrickroad.com and you'll find it'll take you right
Okay.
to the campaign.
Sweet. Let me actually try to put that in here.
All right, I'm going to
Oops.
figure this out. I do a hybrid between my iPad and my PC, and it gets a little squirrely.
So is that it right there? Battle Brick Road?
That's the one.
Nice. See, I figured out a new thing. I can make a little banner. Yay. Okay, so I can show that when we talk about your campaign.
Okay.
Well, all right, guys. Anyone else want to share their screen? You're more than welcome to. You guys know the drill.
Oh.
So who won the Drawn and Quartered last night?
I actually did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Took home the gold.
Oh wow, it was nuts. I was like I didn't even think about it, and then all of a sudden it was just like, wait, and the only person that hasn't been called yet as far as the placing was me, and I was like, I didn't win, did I? And they're like, I won.
Wow, that's awesome.
Guess who got last place, baby?
Who? What? You got last place?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, who's the new guy? Everybody was like, who's this new guy? A lot of people were like, Fuzzy what? It's unfortunate, but there is a popularity element to it. So,
Oh, whatever. I mean, like I said at the end, I know I'm good, but
Well, I think that's the only reason I won when I did it is because my people just went there and voted for me. Because I know there was better art than mine.
no, I thought yours was really good though, both times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason, your followers definitely came in the last minute and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Jason."
Yeah.
So that's the first time I ever won. So I was like, felt really good.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have it? Do you have it to show off?
Yeah. Oh, I have to work on it actually because
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I need to color it because you know how you have to print it out and everything
Yeah.
for the person. I wanted to color it to give it to Kevin anyways because what we did last night was Kevin's book Dragon Guard.
Yeah.
And
I saw the start of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wanted to color it to send it to him so he could use it for something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that book with Kevin. I'll be lettering it.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because your Twitter handle is it still Eric Letters Everything?
No, now it's promo for the campaign.
That's
But
awesome.
it's still true. It's still true. I do letter everything.
Yeah. That's great.
Hold on.
do you traditionally letter, or how do you work?
I work in Illustrator and do it that way. Nothing hand done yet. It is something I'd like to do, but it needs to be the right project, and I need to have the right amount of time.
Right, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I mean, kudos to all the letterers over the years who did it traditionally.
Yeah.
I just look back on that and I think that's nonsense. Like, I mean, it feels more like nonsense now just because of all the technological, coddling that we've had.
Yeah.
But I can't write a sentence with my own handwriting that looks legible. When I sit down and I slow down and I try, it's still like, what letter is that? And just to think that they did that monthly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And it was several books a month too. It wasn't just one guy doing one book and another guy doing another book.
And one of the more thankless ones of the jobs. Like, I mean, inkers get a lot of crap, but I feel like letterers don't even get talked about.
No, not generally. It's not. I mean, a good letterer goes unnoticed, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, right.
I think that's sort of working. We're sort of working from the shadows in that sense. So it's all right though. I mean, people are there for the drawings and the writing. They're not there for who lettered the book. as much as it pains me to say, they're not there for me per se, but I mean, it's just part of the job. And as long as I can make the client happy and make the book look good, I feel like I've done a good job.
Yeah. How many books do you think do you usually letter like in a month right now?
That's a good question. I know sometimes I'm working on books that are like I'll do chunks at a time. So one book can take actually a few months as pages roll in. I've worked that way on several books. But if I were to have a breakdown, let's see. Let me think about this month for a sec. I know I have 4 or 5. On a low end, probably half a dozen. On the high end, probably a dozen.
Really?
And I would say, again, a lot of that is like chunks of books at a time. So it's not always 22 pages at a time. So
That's crazy. That's great. Well, it seems like you found a nice niche to kind of dominate.
yeah, I kind of got in at a good time, and when there were no other letterers around, at least not in the indie scene, as it were, and I was able to sort of make that work for me.
Yeah.
So it turned into a full-time gig.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now you've done 2 projects, right?
Yeah. So this is my second book. My first book was a sort of a rehash or an update of an older story I did called Flying Fortress.
Yeah.
And that was a remaster, if you will. So I had redone the lettering on that, updated some of the artwork, and put that together. That was like an 8-chapter story. So altogether, the story was about 200 pages. The whole book was about 228 pages. And we did that last year. And I actually have, I had a few books that were not in the best condition when they arrived, and then some that just got dented and all of that. So I had enough that I threw up a second campaign, and I called it the Battle Damaged Editions, and those are still up and running too.
That's smart.
Yeah. So my loss is your gain. So I put them up there. They got like a dent or a little scratch, or cover is maybe peeling a little bit on the spine or something, and put those up for a discount, and they've been selling pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, those discounted ones can actually do pretty good for you. I do the same thing, not with a campaign, but I'll have like a time out of the year that I offer them up at a discount, and yeah, it's like a lot of them sell.
Yeah,
It's helpful.
I mean, I bought discounted ones from you.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I can't for the life of me figure out what was wrong with them.
I've been hearing that people are complaining that they aren't damaged enough.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like, I almost feel bad. Like, I feel like I took something from you. I bet you could point it out. I just don't. I've read through them, and I'm like, there's nothing continuity-wise. There's no...
Oh, yeah, the pages are all in order and still there, and
there's no, like, foxing. There's no, double printing. There's nothing. I can't find anything.
Yeah. That's good.
Trying to swindle them, aren't you, Jason?
Yeah.
It's like, swindle? Trying to make me swindle him? I got my Cintiq years ago, and I purposely got the not touch one because I was like, whatever, I'm never going to use the touch option anyway. And it was more expensive.
Yeah.
And then I got my Cintiq in the mail, and I, set it all up, and it's a touch.
Oh, wow.
And I just said nothing.
Yep.
And now I have a 27 QHD, whatever the heck it's called, touch. And I thought that was what had happened with your, like you had accidentally sent me a good copy. Is that true? Do you think you did?
No, I don't. I'm sure I didn't.
Because
I just know that it's just subtle flaws on mainly the covers, where a collector who would pay full price, especially someone who backed it, and get the collector's book plate edition. I just don't want to. I don't want to give those people ones that are kind of like, yeah, I could probably set that one aside.
Yeah.
A slightly crooked stamping of the logo on the spine or something like that.
Yeah. When you're packing and shipping hundreds of books, you notice when something's off.
Mm-hmm.
So you just sort of set it to the side and say, okay, this will just have to wait here for. This one isn't going out.
Yeah.
Well, as much as I do not care about taking a couple extra bucks worth of technology from Wacom, I do care about taking stuff from you.
No, it helped. I mean, I offered those up because I needed money to cover things. Like the shipping was turning out to be more than I needed it to be, and we used a lot of our money to redo our roof that was leaking really badly. So it's like I need to make some more sales quickly. So it helped me, and it got books into people's hands. So that's the goal.
Win-win.
Yeah, everyone wins. Yep. So this is what you did, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. And that's all the characters?
He has so many characters, and everybody last night was just complaining about how complex the armor was.
Well, you managed to do angles and cropping in such a way that you don't have to do any of the stuff that everybody else had to do.
Well, I planned it out. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, what can I do with this where I can show off some cool things, but also, No,
I mean, to be fair, I tried to do the same thing. Right? So, here's mine.
Let's see. Oh, that looks great.
Oh, I like that.
But it's apparently not good enough for a single vote. I got one vote, and it was me.
Don't feel bad. My first time on the pros, I didn't get any votes either.
And I even made them a new logo.
Oh, they probably got really angry at you, like the fans.
Oh, yeah? What's wrong with making a new... It's not like I actually usurped anybody.
No, I know. I'm just giving
the old logo's still there.
I'm giving you a hard time, Buzzy. Calm down.
I saw an opportunity.
Were you just too controversial for people on that?
Oh man, yeah. You know me. I was silent, arguably the whole time.
Oh
just listening, because on the fan edition or the ultimate edition, I feel like I can talk more because I'm among peers, I guess. But with them, I was like, I don't know that I belong here. I feel like I snuck in a back door or something.
Don't worry, Fuzzy. You were fine. No, I know the feeling. Everybody who's been on that show knows the feeling. But yeah, it's a very daunting feeling at first, and then after like 2 times, I would say, you just realize it's the exact same thing as the fan edition, except you can't curse.
Right. Ooh,
that's the only difference.
So I have a personal belief. For the record, I am a strong Christian, but I have this belief that curse words aren't really a big deal. I try not to do it around certain people and in certain situations, but I just don't think it's that. The Bible was written in Hebrew and Greek. They didn't make a list of words that we're not allowed to say.
Yeah, the argument is that it's vulgar, And
Well, right, but words only have the meaning that we give them. And
yeah, I know.
if I called someone names,
Mhm.
then yes, of course, that's wrong. No matter the words I
If you
use.
basically, if you can't control your tongue, then your religion is worthless. It says.
Exactly.
Right.
And if I'm speaking, if I'm saying, well, I'm not going to give examples, but if I said I'm having a bad day and I used expletives to, to describe it, that's not really wrong.
Oh.
Morally speaking, I'm just describing how I didn't enjoy my day. But if I were to say someone was a, so and so or whatever, that's not good. But it wouldn't matter if I was calling them an expletive or if I was saying they were a worthless human being,
I think the main thing is if you can control it. If you can't control it, then James says your religion is worthless and you deceive yourself. So, that's I think the thing is being able
Definitely.
to control what you say and not let it control you. And I think there's a lot of people that can't control themselves. They stub their toe and they makes them mad.
I like your rap, but you have to put that in Phobos now.
Oh man, I have some awesome ideas for that kind of thing. Timothy asked, my brand new Brew Crew member asks, are any of you working on paper? Nope,
No.
not today.
I will be.
But Eric will be.
I will
Love,
be. I
love
lay
the
out
Earthworm Jim, Timothy. Love it.
Let's see, we got some more Brew Crew members. Eric Weathers in the house, says Aaron Olson.
Hey, Aaron. It's good to see you.
How does one actually pay off a Cintiq? Does one not simply purchase a Cintiq?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
I did too. I mean, you have to plan for it. It's like buying a car, you got to plan for it.
My personal philosophy is that if I don't have enough money for something, I don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Save a house, which I don't know that I would ever have enough money for a house. So I don't know. That's a weird sort of thing. But even cars, if I don't have the money, I don't buy a car. I will save up until I have the.
You'll just eat some almond sads, says Tobias.
Oh my gosh, my beautiful wife! I have to show this off because it's so good. In the story that I'm writing, one of the characters folds a candy wrapper into a origami squirrel,
mm-hmm.
and I printed out a candy wrapper so that I could have like a reference, and my wife folded it up into a.
Oh,
wow! She just made that up.
Whoa.
No, she looked up a tutorial, but
that's neat.
Oh, I'm not doing a good job of this, but that's pretty dope. That looks like a squirrel.
Yeah, that's really neat.
And then it's got little eyes and everything. Look at that.
It
really wants to focus on me, but whatever. But yeah, gosh darn,
that's neat.
I've got a great bunch of employees over here.
That's great. You must pay her well.
What did you say?
You must pay her well.
I've got so many jokes I want to make, but I'm not going to. It's just there's just so many opportunities to shoot myself in the foot, and I'm trying my best to avoid them.
Yeah. Say wives are awesome and leave it at there.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. That's why I was showing it off, because she is awesome. She's so great.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm going to say is wives are awesome, and I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah. That's all you need to say, really.
Yeah. Let's talk about something else. Awesome origami, says Timothy Bowden.
Oops, I'm not. Talking to myself, sorry. I guess that's what we do on my stream. Everyone talks to themselves half the time.
So here's a question for the artsy question for all of you. When you're doing a story and there's a lot of, there's like a dialogue heavy section or a narration heavy section that you just can't get around, it's got to be there. Do you prefer drawing direct or more like, example, the man jumped as far as he could. Would you prefer drawing the man jumping, or would you prefer drawing something else, like to make the brain going in two different directions? You know what I mean?
No.
Clarify?
Yeah, this is a hard one to say. Okay, especially in dialogue heavy stuff, when it's just talking heads, you want to break up the visuals a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it's a lot of back and forth between the two characters.
Okay.
And so do you like just showing the emotion on the character's face, or do you try to, show their feet or like something happening in the background or something to...
I think Jason and I actually had a conversation about this like really early when I first jumped on, which was how do you break up panels and stuff to make it interesting, especially when it's just dialogue happening. And Jason, I think what you said was really smart, was that if there's ever a panel where it's boring, you're basically saying that if what you're drawing is boring, like you're not enjoying it, then the person reading it is not going to enjoy that panel because you put love into it. So what you're drawing is going to be interesting, and it doesn't have to be just talking head. And I think the example you gave me was that you like to do things where the people are interacting with the world, like they'll be picking up something or doing something else, and then there'll be dialogue going on to make it feel more organic, like things are happening while this is going on. And that was the advice you gave me. And I thought about that really hard, and I started changing some of the panels of my stuff because of that.
Yeah. It's in the process. I have to really enjoy it, and I have to enjoy what it looks like. Otherwise, why would it be exciting to someone else if it's not exciting to me?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So with really boring scenes like conversations, I really try to get experimental with specifically conversations, and I like writing long conversations and stuff into my stories, and so it's usually kind of a game of how can I break some rules or make this interesting, or maybe it's just like one amazing shot and you just see the back and forth of word balloons, or in Sithra I actually have the dialogue on the side like it's prose, and if it's really, and I do it the same as well with if there's like long scenes that would be boring to draw, like a guy's waiting for 5 hours and have to show the time pass and different things are happening, but it's real boring. If I can't think of a visual way to make it interesting to me, then I'll just figure out a way to just write that in as like, I waited here for 5 hours, in the dialogue or something. Just to kind of.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to try and show other things that might be going on in the scene if it is just dialogue. Like if the person is talking, just a back and forth, maybe just show other items that just aren't faces, show them have a shot where the conversation's going and they're just holding you just need a cup of coffee they're holding or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a way to break it up and not just have expressions and maybe a face or the faces from different angles, and it maybe puts you more into the scene as well, as you can kind of focus in on different aspects.
That book, that old book, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, I remember had a really neat chapter or a section on that. Like, can you make a conversation interesting? And it just like showed a bunch of examples of different angles and stuff. And so there's definitely a lot of different approaches to it. but sometimes I feel like also like I've done those approaches enough. I don't want to just keep rehashing how to draw comics the Marvel way either. You know, and so that's where when I started experimenting more with stuff like in Cithra, where it's just actually breaking the rules of comics more.
I believe I've never read that book.
Yeah, it's everyone had it back in the day. I remember.
I think the reason I didn't ever pick it up was because every time I saw it, I was at Michael's or somewhere, and it was always sitting with the like how to draw manga style and like all those books that the gimmicky books, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I never took those gimmicky books seriously, and I went, "Oh man, Marvel's doing a gimmicky book," and I just didn't like. That's all I ever thought.
Yeah.
But I've heard more and more people talking about that book.
It has some solid stuff. I mean, especially for if you're new to comics and the idea of it, or just a beginner artist. Like I think there's some really valuable basics in there. You know?
But I'd say it's sort of a good way to just get your feet wet in learning about how comics are made. You know, it might be a bit dated.
Yeah.
Made in the 70s or 80s, so
yeah.
But those fundamentals still hold true.
Yeah, and that other one by Scott McCloud, the Understanding Comics and Making Comics by him.
Doesn't he have 3 books?
Yeah, there's Reinventing Comics, which I wouldn't suggest because it's all about how the internet's going to change comics. And it's just like as soon as it came out, it was dated because technology moved too fast.
Is it worth having both Understanding and Making?
They're both different thoughts. They're focusing on different things. Understanding is, like understanding the medium and what makes it work and stuff. And then Making Comics is more like actual practical things that you can do making comics. So I like them both individually in their own ways. I would suggest both of them.
Because I only bought Making however many years ago, and I never knew any other anybody who had read them.
Definitely don't need Understanding Comics at all if you don't need it. But it does have some neat little insights in there that not a lot of people have put so nicely, packaged together so nicely, in a comic.
Yeah.
Have you ever read oh, come on. I think is it called The Art of Manga or something? Maybe that's not right. I'll find it.
So Eric, you said you're working on paper right now?
I'm about to. I do my layouts on my iPad, which is what I've got right here in front of me, and I like to do that stuff digitally because it's there's less erasing on the page.
Yeah.
But the pages, when I get them done, are going to be done traditionally. So I will print this out and throw it on my light pad, which is right back here underneath the portfolio. And then I will pencil it traditionally. So I tend to do layouts actually pretty tight, just so there's less to worry about when I get to the final product. Plus, I can lay out perspective grids and stuff and have all that under the board. But in the end, I'll have an original page.
That's nice. That's a good way to do it. Yeah.
So currently drawing an opening there's an opening chase scene. There is a hover car being chased by 4 hover motorcycles, and they are trying to escape, trying to get away. Our hero, Howard Gale, that's Dorothy's dad, is trying to get away from these bad people.
Manga and theory and practice.
Have not read that.
It is by Hirohiko Arakai. I apologize. That was definitely wrong. But he's the guy who wrote and drew JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, okay.
And he did this book. It's not a super long book, but it's basically explaining, I don't know, the more like esoteric, maybe that's not the right word, like the more sort of theoretical idea of how to make a like impactful story. And he does address art stuff as well, but the stuff I took away from it was the story stuff, where he was like talking about character work and what a long-lasting story needs to continue.
That's interesting, especially because manga does that a lot. What would do you remember what he said? The long-lasting essentials.
Oh, what the one special trick?
Yeah.
No, he talked about a lot of it. He said that there's it's essentially everything should be always rising. And what was it? He said this isn't like, I don't know. It's just a simple verbiage to help you remember. Like, technically that doesn't apply to things like The Walking Dead. He goes, but that's technically doing the same thing because everything's always falling, right? In Dragon Ball Z, always getting better, always getting better, always getting better, always getting stronger, always beating the next most powerful guy, right? In Walking Dead, everyone keeps dying, everything bad keeps happening, they keep losing things. It's this steady trajectory downward.
That's why I was uninterested in Walking Dead, the comics, after a while, because it was just the same like worthless quest of never finding anything.
Right.
Never satisfying anything. Nothing ever turns out good. Everything sucks. Like, let's surrender ourselves to the zombies at this point.
Yeah. He said that
the conflict. That's what they keep doing. They're like, we need a new conflict, but it's not like they come out triumphant. They always lose more than they gain. You know what I mean? That's the problem with Walking Dead is that yes, you need conflict for the story, but you need to gain something in the end. And in The Walking Dead, they just keep losing more and losing more until they have the point that they don't have anything that's worth reading about because they've lost everything we cared about. You know?
I think that's what makes it not that I enjoy watching that stuff, but there is a big audience that does enjoy it. And his point in the book was like, when you reset, you're going to lose a lot of people. So like in Dragon Ball Z, when he beats the most powerful guy, and then he wins the tournament, so he's at the top. Then he starts another tournament, he's back at the bottom again. Yeah. And that's going to lose at least some people because you're dropping down again. And the same thing is with in reverse with Walking Dead. Like, it lose a lot of people because it didn't end with a tragedy and like a full arc. It was like the arc resets over and over and over again. Yeah. And you just get tired as a viewer. You're like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. I think it works for a certain amount of time, but after a certain amount of time, the viewership just needs to go find another story. I mean, because they're treating it like a sitcom where it's just like every season, every day it resets, and that's good for just kind of mindless entertainment. But if someone wants to get some sort of actual arc out of it, it's really unfulfilling, at least for me. So I think it works great in the short term, but you just can't sustain that. And yet, it's tried to be sustained, but I don't think it can. I don't.
There has to be an ending.
Mm-hmm. At least an ending to something.
Yeah. They just lead somebody along forever and ever and expect them to stay there.
Yeah.
Some kind of finality to it.
I have an idea.
Finality, that makes sense.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I have an idea for a tournament style story, and once the tournament's done, like that's the end of the story too. Like there's everything, the greater story will be happening while the tournament is going on, so that when everything ends, it ends, and there's no like starting over or whatever. I don't think that it works. I think that's the reason I didn't care when. Sorry.
So I just thought of this. There's a proverb that says, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life." And I think that's the problem with these stories. Is like it's hope deferred over and over again, and so it just makes you feel hopeless and sick, and like what's the point of living? So I think stories, even though you can start them like that, you got to have some sense of fulfillment of this hope, this expectation at some point. At least that's what I want for a story to entertain me and keep me coming back for it. And, maybe there's just a lot of people that just don't want that. But I think it's pretty important to have it.
I think there's a group of people just want to watch people get eaten by zombies, so they don't really care about the story.
Yeah, that's true too. So where does the story come into that? It's not really as important as the subject matter.
Well, then it becomes the experience,
Yeah.
That weird, what is it called? Like the projecting obscene things for the shock value,
Yeah.
There's that whole entire niche of people that are just all about that. So it's like, it's probably those people that kept it alive for so long.
But it's the same thing applies. Like how much shock value of the same shock can you have before it's
eventually get desensitized to it?
And you're just like, whatever. Like,
well, that's why they bring in like Negan and then they kill off like a main character and stuff. Like the shock value of that with being beaten to death with a bat, and stuff like that. It's all. That's all I see it as, though. I don't see it as like, oh, this is going to make it better or worse or anything. I'm just like, they're just trying to push how far they can go to try and maintain this. Walking Dead's a very, very brutal, serious show, and you should watch it.
Yeah.
And it just loses. It lost a lot of people when they do that because it was just especially the people that goes. I was like, man, I can't believe that.
Yeah. I mean, if they really wanted to make this brutal, serious show, I think you got to have some. Well, it's successful, obviously, but I think you would still want to infuse that hope and that sense of like they could actually get to some place. They could actually overcome this, and then it makes the brutality even more frustrating, But I don't know.
Everything's context.
I've never sold a show. I don't know anything.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Drawing a stupid comic.
It's not stupid.
Oh yeah.
What was that? So much aggression. Yeah, I'll prove you wrong.
Just wait till you read it, man. No,
This thing is garbage. Just wait.
I didn't say it was garbage. It was stupid.
But it's a good stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's comedic. It's not the. I don't think the comic is stupid, right? Like,
no, this is brilliant. It's one of the best I've seen.
there you go.
So flip flop. It definitely does not leave hope deferred. No. Back to that. Now I'm curious how people will respond to Phobos, because it's an ongoing. I'm going to try to actually do it as a longer form story than I'm used to doing. So that's why I was interested in that whole idea of what makes that work.
Well, yeah. So to be fair, that's one small section.
Yeah.
And that's pretty specific to things like that shonen, come on, brain. That shonen style, like, tournament battle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But with the other thing he talked about was character-driven stories, and how it's with the other one, it's more like the story. The characters facilitate the story, and with the character-driven ones, of course, the story is kind of subservient to the characters. The characters have so much charisma and appeal on their own that if you let them be themselves, they will create a story that the readers will be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And this gets a little weird, right? Because you have to think in terms of them being alive, but like if you just put them in a room and let them talk the way they would talk, and
Well, I'm totally in that boat. I mean, yeah, this is kind of a weird thing to think about, but it's just kind of like really knowing your characters and then just seeing how they would respond in a situation. And that's a huge weight part of my writing process anyway.
Do you do character sheets?
Not necessarily. I mean,
I can't live without them.
I'll gather information for a character and stuff.
All right, let me show you something.
Can any of you guys just like walk around your house and then you start having a conversation with yourself as if you're the characters, and then your spouse or significant other looks at you like crazy?
No, because I do that in the privacy of my own.
That's how
I make sure no one ever sees me do that.
The thing is, my wife's so used to it. She'll ask me. She'll be like, "What are you figuring out?" She'll ask like what the story is. She'll be like, because she sees me do it all the time, where I'm talking to myself essentially, and
cool.
and she'll ask like, what was this time,
Okay, so this is my character sheets for and I have everything down to like, what is it? Age, birthday, birthplace, height, weight, eye color, hair color, skin color. What is it? Surgeries, scars, education, like,
wow,
just all the magical stuff. And then it's funny because usually the way that it works is once I filled it out once, I don't have to look back at it again, because then you really know them, you're like, oh, I know who this person is now. But I can't write a story without it.
Wow.
Otherwise, the characters don't make any sense, and I get too inconsistent.
That's intense, buddy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty insane. I've done similar stuff, but I've never gone that detail.
Not everyone has to. I think it's more that I just can't,
You can't not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just too much work for me though.
Yeah, no, don't do it just don't do it if you can. if you could live without it, please.
Far away. You're the cautionary tale.
For your own health, please don't do it.
Yeah.
But I actually can't without it.
Yeah.
Little baby boy can't do it.
Well, whatever you're doing it right, because what I've read of your stuff so far has been really neat. So
Well, we'll see if you like my romance story.
I probably won't read it.
I recommend you read it.
Well, as long as you're honest. To be fair, I didn't really make it for you, so
Yeah, well, exactly. That's
you're not the target demo.
yeah. It just won't affect me like it will a teenage girl. So
Oh boy.
And that's
that your
really
target?
what I'm going for, you know?
Yeah. How do you get into that mindset?
Oh, of a teenage girl?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know.
That's a loaded question, Jason.
I mean, I just asked because that's why I don't try to
I mean,
go outside of the subject matter that I feel like I could.
Do you want my real answer, or do you want like?
You just think about how teenage girls would think.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to do it too because I have teenage girl, like the 90s, a teenage girl, so you know, but it's targeted still to male boys, you know. So
yeah, and that's the issue, right? And you know what it was a whole heck of a lot of consumption of girly entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
Like reading, you know, all the romance stuff on webtoons, first of all. But like I spent so much of high school watching rom-coms just on my own, not even with girlfriends, just for fun. And I was, you know, I'd go.
So you kind of have an interest in that kind of storytelling anyway. So
I would call it. I would say it was a phase.
I'm not saying it to be mean either.
No.
Right.
To be accurate, I'm saying I think it was more of a phase.
Yeah.
Because now it's like I don't really care, and I think a lot of them are unhealthy.
Yeah.
You know, but like I want to, which is why I like this one, because I'm trying to do this one in a way that's not unhealthy.
Yeah.
You know, but
well, interesting. Well, you kind of piqued my interest, so
it's a tragedy too. So
I want to check it out because.
Well, don't lie to me.
I'm curious how your approach to it is different than what's out there. That's always fascinating to me. You know, when people want to like do it better or more healthy or in a way that's needed.
Well, I mean, I'd be super grateful to you, even looking at it for a second, you know?
Well, I'll look at it.
A full second. Just one.
I'll look at it for a full second.
You give it a passing glance.
Reading comics is always so. I got to be committed to read it, you know?
Right.
I get comics more for the art and then tend to read other things. Surprisingly, you know, I'll read novels and books and nonfiction and whatever. So,
I can already tell that Jason's going to get mine in the mail, and he's just going to be looking at all art. He's just going to go flip through the pages and go, "Wow!" And then he's going to.
well, that's 90% of.
You know, that's fine. I don't care. Like, if your kid picks it up and he's like, "Wow, this is really cool. The story's actually really cool. Dad, this is actually really cool." You know, I'd be grateful. You know.
Yeah, that's actually what usually happens. I'll if I see that they're kid friendly, I'll give them to my oldest son.
I would wait until they're like a little bit older. They're not adults.
Yeah,
Not adults. You know, there's no language in it or anything like that. There is violence. But for the most part, it's actually, I would actually say like teenager.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my oldest is getting close.
I have him read it and see if it's good.
Yeah. I will. I've done that with so many people's books that they sent me. Like, and he's a really good test because there's some books that he'll get and it's just like, yeah, it's all right, you know, it was okay.
Kids are the best.
And then there's others that he'll just reread them, and he'll ask me for the next one and ask me for the next one. And it doesn't matter if the art's like the most amazing thing or what. It's just if someone got the idea that inspired his imagination and made him fall in love with it, then that's a pretty big deal, you know?
Yeah.
And it's hard to predict. There's some that I've given him that I'm like, I think you'll like this. And he's like, kind of.
I try.
Yeah.
I can't. I feel that struggle. That's kind of how it is with my son. He'll dig through my comics and pull out stuff I wouldn't expect him to. And then when I give him something I think he's gonna like, he doesn't even go for it. He's like, yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I feel like that happened with a lot of stuff that my dad handed me, and like stuff that he enjoyed as a kid or whatever, and then I didn't appreciate it until later.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if after they get a little older, they might appreciate it more.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, now he's getting into. I tried to do the X-Men. They just classic '90s X-Men stuff because that's what I loved growing up, and it didn't stick.
Sorry.
Like
I got a comment from Jessica. First thing I hear when I load the stream from a room of cartoonist guys, how do you get into the mindset of a teenage girl? Sorry to break your sentence, Eric. Go ahead.
I tried to get him into what I liked, of course. You know, that's what we do as dads.
Yeah.
At least that's what I did at first. And then I just sort of, okay, you know, he likes the Dogman. You know, he was 8 or 9, you know, at the time. Give him the Dogman, and he likes that. Captain Underpants. It's a comic, you know. At least I'm getting in there. And now he's like going through my stuff, and he's pulling out all the stuff that I wanted to show him. He just had to find it on his own. So he's grabbing the X-Men. He's got like Punisher 2099, and he's really getting into that stuff. So
2099.
Yeah,
it's underrated.
I think it's just the number that drew him in. Like it's still futuristic, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's still 79 years from now.
What did you say his age was?
He is almost 10. He'll be 10 in a couple months.
There's not enough Fortnite in this comic. Not interested. I really don't understand why Epic wouldn't like hire some comic artists to actually do some Fortnite comics, because they have a huge cast of like amazingly colorful characters that people already do a huge amount of fan art and other things too. I think that would actually be really smart and sell really well. Who knows? Epic, if you're listening, I'm available.
As am I.
They've certainly got the money to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. They certainly do.
Hey Jessica, if you're watching, do you want to join us? I can send you a link. Maybe you can shed some light on the mindset of getting into it for writing teenage girls.
Yeah, it's not like I've proven myself or anything, so just feel free to come in and correct away.
I think we all need help with that.
We?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
You
don't
got a
have
girl
any
in
teenage
there.
girls?
No, I'm gonna have one though eventually.
There you go.
My daughter's turning 5 here pretty soon, and then the 5 to 10, and then the 10 to 20.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, and I have a niece that is 11, so she's starting to turn into that. And it's kind of interesting to deal with her because she used to be all fun and into video games and stuff, and now she's like, like, I'm like, okay. I used to be the cool uncle. Now I'm just a nerd. You draw for a living? What does that even mean? Oh. Eric,
Yes.
Tell me more about your book so I can have more ammo for tonight.
Oh, that's right. We're going to be on there tonight, aren't we?
Yeah.
Battle Brick Road is, there might be new people in here. Battle Brick Road is a war-torn retelling of The Wizard of Oz. We have taken the bones of the book, the first book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. We've taken the bones of that, stripped everything away that made it what it was, all the magic and all the whimsy to it, and we stuffed it full of grime and bullets and lots of sci-fi and genetically modified creatures and all sorts of fun stuff. So it was written. It's an idea that I brought to a friend of mine by the name of Zeb Hatfield, and he turned my germ of an idea into a fully fleshed out story. It takes view from the point of view of a young lady named Thea Gale, who's on a mission to find her dad, like a lifelong quest to find her dad. He went missing. He was taken from her when she was about 4 years old, and she sort of stopped at nothing to do what she can to find him. 15, 20 years later, she gets this message. A transmission comes in. It's all static, and the message says, "Dorothy, Thea, honey, I'm here. Come find me. And when you get here, follow the yellow brick road." So there was this land was created. So the world that we built is, imagine the 1930s, right? The 1930s Dust Bowl, but on a much wider scale, like the entire Midwest from Canada to Mexico, almost from the mountains to the Appalachians, almost completely deserted, has been completely ravaged by dust storms and sand. And it's called now the Great American Desert, because everything's been destroyed for decades. And this is the world she grew up in. And long before she was born, this entrepreneur, genius, billionaire by the name of Oscar Manuel Diggs created this utopia that he could shelter some people in and maybe help them get back on their feet in this world. And that world gets lost. And Dorothy, and everybody's been trying to find it because they want to get in there and get out of the dust and grime. And Dorothy gets a message from that land, and it's from her dad. And so she embarks on a quest. Now that she knows how to get there, she embarks on a quest to go find her dad, because that's her main goal. That is her trying to get home, so to speak. And when she arrives, she finds that this utopia is not a utopia. It's been torn apart by years and years of warfare. The creator of it gave control of this world to these 4 AI sisters. They each control a sector. They're called the Watchers. So there's the Watcher of the North, East, South, and West. The North and the South are still good and helpful to the people that are in their zone, and the East and the West are not so good, and the West is the worst of all. And she sort of falls into this place and has to sort everything out. She gets some friends along the way. Some familiar faces. And she has a companion, Toto, who he's right here, but it's a close-up. He is here's a sketch. He is a drone that was created by her dad, and he's her protector. He's her little R2-D2. He's a little. He's probably one of my favorite characters, and we don't even get to hear him talk. He communicates in whistles and beeps. So I think it's a lot of fun. We got a lot of high action in here, and a lot of heart, a lot of good character development and stuff. We've really taken a multi-layered approach to telling this Oz story. So it's going to be familiar in some respects, but it's a brand new story in most respects.
Sweet.
That's awesome, man.
And yes, we are funding right now on Indiegogo. You can go to battlebrickroad.com and check it out.
Yeah, have the link right there in the window for you guys. All right.
I know I snatched up my copy like as soon as you were streaming with Sweetcast. I was like, oh my gosh, it's live. I gotta go grab it.
Yeah. Clint's been good to me, having me on his show and hanging out on Monday night, so that's fun. So it's been a long time coming, but we're finally here. and it feels good to get people excited about it.
How long have you been working on it, Eric?
Well, the story's been back and forth in development for a couple of years off and on. So like we worked on it, the initial idea for a few months, and then I paused my part of it because I had to go into development for the campaign for Flying Fortress, and there was that whole, it was drawn, but there's all of the stuff you have to do to get a book together, read letter, and all of the campaign, all of that stuff. So that sort of took my time away. That plus, I do letter comics full time. So Zeb has been done with this portion of the script with a minor edit here or there for a few months, and I'm playing catch up now. The goal is to have everything drawn before the end of the year, and so far so good.
So the campaign, how many pages are ready to go right now?
How many pages is the book?
Yeah, I mean, how many pages do you have done out of the amount that it's going?
There are 52 pages. I have just a handful done. I have a whole ash can that's finished. That's 5 pages. Page 1 of this is a final. What I'm drawing right now is page 2. I can knock out about 2 or 3 pages a week depending on lettering workload. So
that's interesting. I would like to talk to you about that whole idea of launching a campaign prior to having it, like pitching the idea and then getting funding to actually make it. Because that's a little scary to me. I'm always trying to get most of it done and then letting the campaign only deal with the printing costs and whatever excess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is its own way of doing it. That's for sure. I would like to have more done. I mean, obviously you always want to be done, have more. You always want to be further along than you are, no matter where you are in the process.
Yeah.
But there was I feel like there was a good window of an opportunity, and there was a lot of excitement already sort of built up for it because I had been teasing it for so long.
Oh yeah.
And I just felt like getting it out there for people to be excited about and back it now the time felt right for me. Plus, I really like the deadline. I really like the pressure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because if I'm just sitting back thinking, I'm working on it, which I am, sketches and doodle on a page, do the layouts, all of that stuff's done. But production pages, that it's like, well, this isn't paying rent right now. But so I'll letter, these books and get that over with, and then. Yeah.
So that kind of solves that problem of the money. It's the lettering jobs.
Yeah.
Oh,
So production-wise, I don't have to hire an artist. I don't have to hire a letterer, but I'm hiring a colorist by the name of Farron Normaliza.
Is he the one that did the colors so far?
I'm sorry?
Did you do the colors so far?
She's got just the cover and the page there on the campaign that are done.
Well, it's beautiful. Beautiful colors. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be knocking out probably a quarter of the book between now and when she's ready to start coloring. So
that's great.
Yeah. I'm on the list.
That's great. Yeah, I kind of I dream about being able to just pitch an idea to Indiegogo and Kickstarter and not have any of the pages done except for a handful, and then be unable to spend the next year working on it.
Yeah.
And I would love to get to that place where I can do that, because then it would solve the problem of, should I work on this or not? Is the audience there? And right now I'm too nervous about that to where I'm like, well, I'll just figure out a way to work on it and then launch it.
Yeah.
But then I've done all the work, and so if very few people buy it, then it kind of puts another set of questions in my mind.
Yeah, it's a balance, right? It's like, do I spend the time now without knowing if people are actually going to buy it, or do I,
Yeah.
Just do the idea and see if it's worth it. But, I think that people kind of know that I get the job done. So I've got that going for me,
Yeah.
and, you've fulfilled several campaigns. I think you have enough trust from your audience that you could probably do something like that.
I think so. Yeah. So if you wouldn't have gotten a certain amount or hit your goal, would it have changed anything for you? Would you still just be working on it?
Yeah, I'd still work on it. Seeing as how the writer is a friend of mine, we have the script put together. The book would come out, and then we'd see how the popularity of it was then. And I could over the course of a few months pay for the colorist out of pocket. So this makes it easier to know that like that cost is covered if I need to hire somebody else to do something like page cleanup or flats, or all of that money's there and it's accessible like right away for all of that.
Cool.
And that's less of a mental burden too, because you're not worried about I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. So
well, that's great. Welcome, Jessica.
Hi there.
So you're gonna tell us how to think like a teenage girl when we're writing stories about teenage girls.
Oh, man.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'm actually probably the worst one to answer that question because I was such a tomboy when I was a teenager.
So you write how teenage boys react, and we'll write how teenage girls react.
I guess.
Maybe that's it. I heard the word effeminate more times than I'd like growing up, so. I was working at the soup kitchen one time.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I was working at the soup kitchen one time, and some guy came up to me and was like, "You one of them metrosexuals?" And I didn't even know what that word meant at the time. So I was like, "I don't think so."
Would you like some soup?
Yeah. Like, can I get back to doing what I'm doing? And then my friend was there with me, and he was like, "Actually, I think you are." And I was like, "What?" And I learned later it just means you dress well. And I was like, "Well, you know what? Whatever."
And you're a guy that takes care of their appearance.
I don't love that there has to be a name for that, but whatever.
Yeah, it just should be just like, are you a professional? Yeah.
do you tuck your shirt in and comb your hair?
Something wrong with you, boy. I ain't never seen no real man with white teeth. And you got all of them, too.
You must be a city boy.
I didn't have any other conversation with that guy, and I wish I could go back and just ask him questions,
No.
No.
No, I don't know.
No, I'm saying no as in I wouldn't want to go back and talk to him. I think that'd be the last conversation I'd ever want to have with that person.
If only he could see me now.
He'd still be questioning you.
Maybe he's watching.
Put in the comments if you remember calling me a metro. And well, maybe we can continue that conversation. I don't know.
But did you ever watch Pride and Prejudice? Is the question.
No. No.
Okay. See, I would be more, I guess, effeminate than you.
But would you call that a rom-com?
Definitely not.
No, exactly.
It's like whenever I think of like the most romance kind of like when people think of like really romantic, no romantic stories that I actually enjoy.
Well, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, and don't watch the new one with whether her name is
Emma Watson.
no Emma Watson.
Keira Knightley.
That
Keira
one.
Knightley. They're all
Don't watch that one. Watch the good one that's like made by the BBC.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's a real Darcy right there.
Does that have Snape in it? Am I remembering something else?
No, he did
No,
something.
that's Harry Potter.
No. That guy was in something else that's set like a period piece like that.
He was in Prince of Thieves.
It's called Die Hard. It's a period piece about the 90s.
Mr. McLean.
Mr. McClay.
No, but it does have called what's his name? Farrell Collins? Is that his name?
Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell. I did backwards.
Farrell Colin lives in the woods and only comes out once a year.
I think you guys are talking about Colin Firth.
Colin Farrell.
Pretty sure you're talking about Colin Firth.
I'm still sure we're talking about Harry Potter.
Yes, Colin Firth. Yeah, it has him in it.
Yeah.
Mr. Darcy. The best Mr. Darcy.
All right. Well, I'll watch it. If it's truly that important to understanding the teenage girl, then
Oh, it's absolutely because it does relate to anything that's going on right now. So,
See, the true test is if you actually watch musicals, like Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde's not.
is that a musical?
I was about to say, is that? I don't think that's a
It is a musical, and it's actually really good.
I've never. The only thing that could technically be considered a musical that I've ever enjoyed was Willy Wonka.
Oh, that's a musical?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the definition of a musical is when songs happen, but they don't. Nobody addresses them. Like nobody acknowledges that they were.
They do address it. They're like, why are they singing?
I'm pretty sure.
that feels staged.
I'm pretty sure. Gosh darn it! Because I know that in the newer one, the Johnny Depp one, they definitely is not a musical, right? But I'm pretty sure the old one does have like characters stop and like, especially in the beginning when it's really sad. They have moments where they sing.
The Candyman?
Huh?
That one?
No. Like, I think it's when, like, I don't remember if it was Charlie or his mother, and it's just like the most depressing.
Oh, that's what you mean. He's walking away, and she's like, "Dude, like I didn't get off my job yet. I have to stay late." And she's, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That's weird.
And then like Willy Wonka is singing, but they never address that he's singing, and there's enough moments in that where they don't address it that I would consider it a musical.
When did this come out? I've never even heard of it. Like the musical.
What? Willy Wonka?
No, Willy Wonka the musical.
No. I feel like I feel like I may have messed things up a little bit. It's Willy Wonka, but I'm saying it is a musical. So the Gene Wilder one.
Got it.
He's just messing with you. That's all.
No, I truly believe it's a musical. I'll die on this hill.
Oh gosh.
Hey, who's typing so much or something? I just hear keyboard's really loud, and I can barely hear the voices. Is that
It's not
To
me.
me,
you, Jessica?
it could be. It could be my gamer pad. Here,
It's
I think
definitely
it is you. Yeah.
probably.
It's like,
Here, let me move my mic over to the other side. See if that helps a bit.
okay.
I'm gonna mute myself really fast.
Okay.
That's a chunky keyboard. Gamer pad. Boop, pop, boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
those I just never used it.
Where every keystroke sounds like a punch to the face.
Green.
I know you just put it on my screen, but yo, I gotta go.
Okay.
Not completely like gone, but I have to use the restroom.
Okay, I'll mute you.
Why has this become a daily thing? Where it's like we all know it's like time to mute him.
I didn't think he was actually using the bathroom the first time. I thought he was pouring a glass of water. It wasn't until afterwards that I realized, oh,
In a
wow.
way, he was pouring a glass.
That's his bathroom, just some glasses in the back room.
Well, he didn't leave his desk. That was your first.
He was dedicated to the stream.
Yeah, dedicated to the stream, dedicated to the craft. I will have to go shortly. My family's on their way home, so when they get here, it turns into a madhouse.
Yeah, understandable. Well, I'll keep inviting you. And,
Okay.
You can keep slinging your products, and we'll keep slinging them for you, too.
Mhm.
Do you have any shows or live streams that you do, Eric?
Yeah, so the quarantine was nice because my wife was working from home and I was doing a morning show. That has since changed over the past week. But I do stream Monday nights with Sweetcast. Almost whenever he's on, I'm usually on as well. And then I try to do, I would say, almost nightly on Twitch, twitch.tv/EricWeathersArt, where you'll see me work on the book. Or if I have a deadline and they don't mind that I letter the book on stream, you'll see the lettering
That's
on
nice.
there as well. And then I have my own random times and on random days YouTube channel. And it's just my name, Eric Weathers, no space. So
Cool. Very cool.
I think that Willy Wonka song's like running in my head now. I don't know who to blame for that.
All right, let me know if that's any better.
Okay.
It is kind of loud though. Clack, clack, clack.
It's not quite as overpowering as it was.
Okay, good. I was like right underneath the microphone, so going to make sense. Wouldn't trade the world for it though. I love it.
What is it? You said gamepad.
Yes. It's this magical thing.
Oh, you have one of those things.
Yes.
Is it like a shortcut, like Beast?
Yes.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Thought about it.
Oh man. I just can't do it any other way. No, it's great. You can adjust your brush size with your has a little scroll wheel on there. I mean, you can set it for different programs. So I have different keys for Photoshop and Clip Studio and other programs, and it just switches over automatically.
Wow. How much was such a thing?
$60.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then this is an older one too. So the downside is right now the driver does not play very nicely with my computer. And I probably should fix it because if I unplug it, it tends to crash my computer. So yeah, I should probably fix that at some point.
Yeah, probably so. I have
Probably.
one, but I've never taken the time to set it up. I got it for free. And maybe that's
Yeah.
why I haven't taken the time, because I don't appreciate it.
Oh man. Oh, it's so great. I love it. It's the best kept digital artist secret.
Yeah. Okay, I hear them coming in the door, so I'm going to hop off. But thanks for having me on, Jason.
You're welcome.
It's
Thanks
good
for
to see
coming.
everybody, to meet everybody. I'll be on Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition tonight, so I'll see you guys then, hopefully.
Yeah.
And
Good to meet you.
Sweet.
back Battle
Sounds
Brick
good.
Road.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
Bye. So how often do they do the drawn and quartered?
They do every week.
Okay, nice. I tried looking it up, and all I get are these medieval images of drawn and quartered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Hold on. It's actually twice a week. Where on Wednesdays it's the Pros edition, and then tonight it's technically the Fan edition, but they changed their name from Fan edition to Ultimate edition because of the drama that happened, and now there's like the sect of people that are like Ultimate Fan, but it doesn't really matter.
So do they just issue I haven't actually watched it. Do they just issue a prompt and you
Yeah.
have at it? And
Yeah, pretty much. It's that the Ultimate Edition, which is tonight, anybody can jump on. But the Pros is like a especially invited.
yeah, curated.
Yeah. So, but what the cool thing is that the one tonight, the winner will have a seat on the Pros next week.
Oh, that's fun. How long have they been doing this?
Well, they've been doing it for over a year and a few months now.
Mm-hmm.
But I got involved with it last September. I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. So you're on it weekly?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a really good way to get people to see your art, to meet new artists, to just to have fun, talk with your peers and stuff. So, kind of like what we're doing right now, but in a kind of more competition setting because you have 2 hours to draw on that topic. So, and it's also really good for, as Jason can attest to, it's really good for building your critical thinking of quickly having to make a piece in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. Cool. I'll have to check it out.
We're always looking for new artists on the Ultimate Edition. So
now's your chance, Jessica.
To make a fool of myself. Perfect.
Fuzzy was on it just last
Fuzzy's
2
gonna be on
times.
tonight. I didn't know he would come back. I was kind of worried because of last time it got really dark, and I was like, oh no, Fuzzy's never gonna come back to this. And then, surprise, I looked at the roster today, and he's on it for tonight. So I was like, "Oh, cool." So,
How do you do you have to register ahead of time, or how do you do that?
yeah, usually it's just dibs, game of dibs. But they changed the format to Discord. They used to use Hangouts, so the roster should be actually like up to 50 now instead of the 10 that used to be. Yeah, so we're gonna see how that works tonight.
Wow.
I'll put.
That's cool.
Yeah, no. For anybody, this is for anybody. I'm gonna put a invite, and I'll put it in the private chat Jason, and you can put it into the chat. In the
Okay. I think you're a moderator, so I think you can.
Am I? Am I a mod on your channel?
I think I've been trying to make all the regulars moderators, so you can post your own links and stuff.
Nope.
What?
I'm no wrench. I am a member, but I'm not a wrench.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, I'll have to make a note to make you a moderator. Yeah, post it in the.
All right,
private, I'll throw it in.
here's the invite, and that is in the private chat. And it's open for everybody that's an artist. So, well, not just artists, but open to anybody that loves art and wants to draw and stuff.
So, Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition Discord forum, right?
Yeah.
So do you know the theme ahead of time, or you find out on the spot?
Yeah, they actually have it. If you in the schedule on the tab, that it tells you what the theme's gonna be, what the next week's theme's gonna be. Usually, they have it up to like 3 weeks in advance, so you know what's gonna go. So you know when to say like, I want to do it this week because the theme is cool, something you're interested in.
Ooh.
So. This tonight is going to be the Battle of the Erics. We actually have 4 different Erics on tonight. We have the Weathers, we have the Nino Kowski, we have Hawkins, and we have Hudson. Eric Hudson. Who's Eric? Oh, Eric Hudson. Okay. So, there's a bunch of Erics on tonight.
The Battle of the Erics. Okay.
Zach, I haven't been watching you enough over the last million streams, but when you aren't forced to work in black and white, do you prefer? Do you have like a preferred way of? Do you have like color schemes that you work from, or do you just kind of go with your gut and color pick as you go?
No, a lot of it's gut, but like when this is specific where there's characters that are specifically colored and I need to have specific colors, I throw that in, but then I start playing with like the shadows. If you notice, there's no black on this. I do not like using black for shadows. I find it's more effective to find complementaries to do shadows, so that way things don't feel flat. But yeah, no, I usually try and do a lot of balancing with warms and cools and whatnot. And usually I'll use warms to push things forward and cools to push things back. Usually, unless like the skull guy, he's actually he's a blue character. So I was like, okay, well I'm gonna add some green in the shadows to get my warms in and whatnot, to contrast with the blue. So it's just I try to balance everything out as much as I possibly can. So. And I'll pretty much use anything as long as it gets off the feeling that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you answering that for me.
Mm-hmm. It's all about how you feel. What about you, Jason?
As far as color?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, it's really different every every page. Sometimes I'll have a really specific idea that I've kind of done before, so I know I can pull it off, and then other times I just struggle with it. And I do like using blacks, so Phobos is a big experiment in throwing all kinds of blacks at on the canvas. But it's not in color either, so it's using the spot blacks is more enjoyable. I still like to use in blacks, which reminds Citra as well when it needed it, or when I thought it needed it.
But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with black. You know, I just personally don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Because my you know, you have certain tastes and what your eyeballs like and like that. And for some reason, black feels so flat to me that it kind of kills the mood of the thing I'm doing.
Mhm.
So I tend to avoid it if I can. And I just try and even when I'm doing like black, like for drawn and quartered, you're only allowed to use black and white. But I've been able to be just monochromatic and get away with it.
Mhm.
And I still don't use blacks. I'll do like burnt sepia and things like that. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was certain jobs where they would say don't use blacks, and so I've I've done it without blacks and on jobs, but I think I started out loving just not doing color, and so black was such a big part of my tool set, and so I love it. I just love it too much.
But you do something really incredible with it. Your values are so just, I don't know. There's something with your values that the way you use shadows to explore the space, like especially in Phobos. Like I read your third chapter from your stuff, and I was just like blown away because every time it was like you were using like this kind of like dynamic lighting from the windows and everything to really explore the space.
Yeah.
Make you feel depth and everything, and it was just like you're using your values in such a smart way that it's beautiful because of how much space it feels like there actually is.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So
I've already gotten pointed out a bunch of typos and stuff on that, so I need to update it. But Nick Welch is going to be helping me redo all the lettering and fonts and everything, so I'm like, yeah, you'll just be the. I'll just leave it for a little bit longer.
yeah, that's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks. Have you seen the first 2 chapters yet?
I have not.
You
I don't have
haven't?
access for that.
I need to put those on there. Yeah, my site got screwed up somehow, and so I just need to put them on the Coffee Table Comics site. And that seemed to be actually really easy. I just have the password, so it's just simple. I don't have to reformat the pages to like a Webtoons type format either, which is what I was doing before. So I'm kind of glad I was forced to switch over. Anyway.
What about you, Jessica? The color question.
Oh yeah.
What's the question?
I forgot what it was.
I had asked what your preference is in terms of working with color. Do you use a color scheme, or do you go with your gut, or what is your way of doing it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Sorry, I'm really bad at multitasking. I freeze up like what? I don't really have a good answer. I'm kind of going with my gut. This has been a really weird comic because it's taking place in space mostly. So I'm trying to figure out, it's all kind of like the same lighting. So very blues and purples, and it ends up being pretty bright and saturated. So I'm trying to knock it down a bit. And yeah, I don't really have a good answer to that yet. But yeah, I've been looking into some gradient maps more, so I'm doing some revisions today, so I might actually play around with that just to see what I can do and mix it up a bit. That's what I got. Nothing too savvy, just from the gut.
Yeah. Remind 1 for me was a big experiment with color because I didn't feel comfortable doing it at all, and so that was more washes, like just finding almost treating it like gray value, but then just putting a wash over top of areas. And so that's the way I thought about that. And then I started working at DreamWorks, and they're all about really specific color theory and ideas and bold color choices. And it just, you can really see the transition from Remind 1 and 2 to how much more confident I got in the coloring. Yeah, so I did a lot of things in Remind 2 that I never would have done before.
I actually just picked up James Gurney's book on color and light. So,
Oh yeah,
has anyone read that?
Yeah. Yes.
I haven't.
It's a very good book on color and light. Did you get? There's 2 versions. Did you get one with the dinosaur on it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
So what's the other one?
That was really good.
What's the name of the
Yeah.
book?
Oh gosh, what is it? It's downstairs. It's just James Gurney's. Yeah, let me look it up. Oh, it's literally called Color and Light, a guide for the realist painter. But it can be used pretty much anywhere.
And it goes over a lot of like mood and whatnot. How to use colors to create depth and mood and stuff. And it's really good.
Yeah, so far I really like it.
Space Angel access only.
All right, I have a question about this. I don't even know if I should change it. I feel like it looks like an outhouse, but I don't know what else to do. I kind of was like, oh, I need to make a closet, and then later I was like, it kind of looks like an outhouse. I don't know. Like,
I think you're introduced. This is the first time you see it is with the mop and bucket.
mm-hmm.
Like you don't see it in any of the, yeah.
fine.
Well, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Definitely comes off as a janitorial closet, especially since you wrote it on the front. But
Yeah.
But no, like the mop and bucket does everything for it.
All right.
I think without that, it would definitely be a little outhousey. But
yeah.
no, but introing it like that is perfect solution.
Okay.
I didn't think of it as an outhouse until you said it. So
Okay, good. I think someone commented and was like, "Is that an outhouse?" And I was like, "Oh crap, no."
You're always going to get those, but that's not fair because you were working on it up close, right, where we couldn't see the.
Yeah. So
If you see the page, right, and you see that panel as it's supposed to be, you can.
yeah.
If anything, the viewer will be like, "Why is there a mop and bucket in front of that outhouse?" And then they'll read the word janitorial closet. So I feel like, it's moot point. I feel like they can just figure it out,
Yep. Well, good. I hope so. Yeah, that was kind of the goal. I decided to change the term to janitorial because I put cleaning closet on it before, but I think it's more recognizable if I actually spell it out. Whatever. Good enough. All right. Stop noodling. Yeah, sorry if I look a little lost here. This is I did this a while ago and I'm going back doing revisions on some things and I had a totally different way of how I organize all my layers. So I'm half the time just trying to figure out where everything's at.
Yeah.
And condense it again.
Do that with old pages too.
Mm-hmm. I was like, what was I thinking? Terrible.
Yo, how are your layer things different colors?
These here?
Yeah.
You can do in Photoshop too, but this is Clip Studio. You just change them different colors. And at the bottom,
my gosh.
Uh-huh.
It's upsetting that I'm in Clip Studio, by the way. So that's Well,
There you go.
I have a new tool.
One word of advice is that if you switch over to Photoshop, it's going to get rid of that. So you're going to have to put them back. So, yeah, that's kind of the downside. So I'm getting close to just using only Clip Studio. I don't use Photoshop a whole lot for this stuff anymore.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. My mic just fizzled out and couldn't figure out how to get everything running again. I wasn't sure if the stream went down or anything, but I guess it's all working. Okay, good.
Yeah, and I was muted.
You were muted?
The time. I've been saying all kinds of funny things.
No one's laughing.
Yeah, it got really quiet for a second.
Yeah, my mic, it was weird. It's like I thought someone walked in, and I looked back and the door's open, and then I'm like, did I open that or did someone walk in? So then I went over there to look, and then I came back and my mic was muted, and it said my system audio was taken over, and I'm like, what's going on?
I think so. I've noticed
weird.
this before. I think that it, like, if you're, I don't know if it face detects or something, but if I leave, like, just for a second to go get something, it'll mute me automatically.
Oh no, that was me muting you.
No, not from just now. Like,
No. Okay.
it's done it. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll duck out or something. And it,
Huh.
Let's test this. I'm gonna leave the screen and see if it mutes me.
maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I'm not muted.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just
I've
more
muted
annoying
you.
than I know, and everybody,
No, I've
Jason's been muting me.
a couple times.
No, it's just the we mute you when you go to the
Oh, no. That's, yeah. Those aren't the times that I'm talking about.
There was that one time.
There's been multiple times where I've literally stepped away for like a half second to like grab a book or something.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Guess what? I'm almost done.
You almost done?
Yeah. So what's that screen?
Those are the people I'm on with. They can see you. See, there's you.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
At you. They're saying hi. Why don't you say hi?
Hi.
She recently lost her bottom two teeth. My yep. Her teeth.
Oh, Tooth
Oh.
Fairy's coming in.
How old is she?
Oh, she's almost 5.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's a good age.
Wow.
Yeah. He's fun. All right, you're being weird.
That's what I was
Uh-huh.
Whatever. I do not know what that is.
Kids are cool.
Aww. Oh my goodness. I don't know where everything's at. Sorry, probably pretty boring watching me do revisions.
It's all right. I'm doing thumbs. Couldn't be more boring than that.
See, that seems more exciting because it's something new. This is just
Yeah, but
like,
it's
where did I
people
put
get,
that layer?
people get to look at your like finished art. Mine looks like poopy scribbles. You know.
Here, we'll put it on your poopy
My
scribbles.
finished
Yeah,
art
yeah,
then.
Check out these. Check out this delicious art. Everybody loves spending money to see this.
Ah,
Yuck.
is this
Just
a teenage
yuck.
girl comic?
Yes, it is. But it's the once
Oh.
again, it is the thumbs. Here, just for the you know, for posterity here. Let me throw up what it'll actually look like. Oh, take your
Clip
time.
Studio, the version where you can actually see all of your pages. Ooh.
Wait, what?
Is that the was it Clip Studio Pro or X or whichever one that is where you can have all your pages on at once?
Yes, but this is just a thing that I did where it's like, so like I have just an image file that I use that looks like this, and then I just draw on top of it so that I can make thumbing easier for myself.
Nice.
But yes, there also is a what do you call it? Like a page manager,
Yeah.
It's extremely
is-
cool.
which is super nice.
It is.
Super nice. But yes, this is what it will really look like. Nice and pretty, and oops, and then I'll color it, and it'll all look gorgeous, and you know,
Very nice. Nice line work.
so pretty.
Check out that grass.
Oh yeah, the grass was that's, I'm not gonna lie to anybody, that was a brush, but
What?
Peter, just think about that chain tool. That chain tool is the coolest thing ever.
so nice. It's so freaking nice. Like what is it? One of my favorite things is just to find new. Let me see if I can grab one that's really fun. Come on, clothing. Oh yes, zippers.
Mm-hmm.
Zippers are hateful. Zipper days are a thing of the past, baby. Just
Jason?
What happened?
Oh, I heard someone say hello, and I thought it was you.
Oh,
what's going on? Oh,
you're wait. You're gonna incriminate yourself, Fuzzy. You're becoming an expert on zippers. You know what that means.
Oh no!
You know what that means. You really are becoming the expert.
Oh no! Somebody help! I'm not an expert. I found a brush. I'm the opposite of an expert. I cheat. No, but check this out. Check out these brushes. Look at this. Freaking nothing better. So good, so clean, and then found this one recently too.
Oh yeah, the shoelace one.
Shoelaces.
Those are tall boots.
This one janky foot at the bottom. Just get this little boot there. Oh, that's an ugly boot. Looks like a toe. All right, here we go. Delete that. All right, back to
Put some
the.
laces on his legs all the way up to his knees.
Yeah, now you have a zipper. So why doesn't he have a zipper?
Wait, all right. Can you see your zipper when you sit down
No.
or stand or when just like?
I can't.
Hey, I'm not the crotch expert. I'm not the crotch expert. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. What is a zipper?
Oh my goodness.
All right, I gotta act like I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I have
What's
no
a
idea.
zipper? Speak off.
Do
Oh,
a
look at
zipper on
that.
one side and laces on the other. Ah, yes.
Hold on. Zipper. Oh, damn! That was. I mean, dang. There we go.
Blammo.
Jeans with a zipper is a new fashion. There you go.
Up the front.
Up the front. On one side and laces on the other.
All right.
Now,
Go get
if you have you tried to make your own brushes like that? That's
I've tried doing more realistic like felt tip pens and stuff, and it just doesn't. I don't know well enough not to. It just looks weird. I don't know. I can never get it to look right. But everybody else is talented enough, so I don't need to worry about it.
Speaking of making things, I figured out a way to make my own font the other day.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was actually quite easy.
what
But
do you
I'm
do?
not sure if I'm going to be using it still. I have to tweak it and play with it.
Using like a program or what do you?
Nope. Calligrapher.com. It's the website. They allow you one free font you can create. And then you can always upgrade to other fonts. You have 75 characters. So basically pretty much all you need for a comic. And you can either print out their little template and then you write down, all your characters, scan it in, or you just throw it into Photoshop or Clip Studio and write them all out. And it just converts it into a font and you can tweak it there. And I need to go back over it and change a few characters, but it worked a lot better than I thought it would. So
Sweet.
yeah, it was pretty cool. Let's see.
Some aggressive typing.
Oh, sorry. Very loud on the keyboard.
Got 30 minutes left.
Really, time is flying. I don't feel like I've gotten much done.
Talking about zippers too much.
Talk about who is or isn't an expert.
Oh, I'll say the word, Fuzzy. Forbidden word.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, I was surprised that Mike did not say it once last night.
I think he did.
No, he
Pretty
didn't.
sh-
No, he didn't. He held back. Because I was tempted to say it, because he wasn't. But then we didn't, for your sake.
Well, that is very kind of you. I don't know that it was necessary.
Nah, it wasn't, but I didn't want to drive you off. I thought I drove you off the other show.
Oh, no way, dude. I'm coming back
Coming
tonight.
back. Yeah, you're coming back for another meeting.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that it wasn't me. Like I wasn't the reason for somehow like me being there just made everybody like, man, I just feel like I gotta say something awful.
No, it wasn't you. There was something about that night that was just off and off-putting. So I do knew.
Well, either way, I'm excited to come back.
Mhm.
Are we doing specifically his characters, like his
No.
versions of the Oz characters, or we can do our own?
I'm pretty sure it's just any Oz characters you can do it yourself. Because two of them have 2 different books based on that whole entire the different take on the Wizard of Oz. You have the Weathers, which is the military futuristic one, and then you have
The zombie one.
the zombie one from hold on, Hawkins. There's too many Erics.
I was gonna say, you at least know his first name. That's all that matters.
Yeah, from that Eric.
You know, Eric. The one who's doing a Wizard of Oz book.
Yeah, Eric.
That's a weird thought. Like, just that you could say, have you spoken to Eric? Which one? Oh, the one that's making a reimagining of Wizard of Oz comic book.
Which one?
Which one? One with an Indiegogo campaign.
Which one?
Guy.
Actually, no. The other one's on Kickstarter.
Ah,
See?
dang. Well, you can say crowdfunding then. Whatever.
Yeah, you say crowdfunding. Eventually, you will get to specifics.
The white one.
Oh, actually, I've never seen Hawking, so I can't say.
Oh.
I have no idea what he looks like. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What happened?
And just a comment was like, oh no.
Look, it was supposed to be a short, quick thing. I wasn't trying to be weird, and then
Yeah,
it
now it
turned
got
weird.
weird. People on Twitter are going to come after you.
Oh, great. Hey, you know what's funny, though, is I barely ever go on Twitter. So, there you go. I win.
Okay, guys, can you give me some storytelling advice on the spread I have, or your thoughts on how I should do this? I'll explain what I'm trying to do. So, sorry, I know I'm making you guys stop working. So they led this girl Aninik down to the bottom of the castle to get into this like old abandoned amusement park ride, which is how you get to the town. And there's kind of this history where the castle used to be amusement. It used to be a place where tourist attractions and stuff would go, but it has such a bad rap now that they're trying to just not ever talk about it anymore. And so, but she's getting on this like little roller coaster thing, and she's nervous to go into the town on her own. And this whole situation is really strange and bizarre. And the mad scientist is like, just go get the job done type thing. Don't worry about it, even though it will be very strange. Like she's bringing this weird Phobos, this weird bat creature, but she's supposed to act normal. Anyway, he's like saying, your job's simple, just get in and out unnoticed, and don't tell anyone you're staying here. And then this panel here, they're continuing forward down the hallway, down the tunnel, and so he's in the background. And then this little speaker thing on the front of the train that's a skull, it like lights up and it starts talking to them as if they are part of the amusement park ride. And it says, I hope you've enjoyed your journey back in time to the castle of Phobos. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then, and so these panels is kind of a profile, the left panels. Let me zoom in a little more. They're like profile images of the cart going down the the thing, and here's a little. This will be a light, like a torch on the wall that's lit up. It says, "Please keep your hands and feet inside at all times." And as they go past that, it says, "Remember, Phobos can smell your blood if anything gets lopped off." And they look at each other, and then it goes over the edge, and it's like, "Ha ha ha ha!" As they're starting the ride, basically. So my question is it clear? I'm trying to figure out the order of these panels, because I have this panel down here at the bottom, which is the little skull thing that lights up for the first time. And the idea was they go into darkness, and then all of a sudden it lights up and starts talking real loud.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if there's any thoughts you guys have to make it clearer, because I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm struggling with it.
Going on that panel, the most bottom left panel. What's the image?
What is it? It's it is a little skull. It's a close up of the skull thing.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see it.
So, and that's the thing that's unclear. It's like suddenly I'm close up on the skull thing that's suddenly illuminated. The panel before it's all dark though. So I'm almost wondering if I should start with the profile shot in darkness, and then the torch lights in the second panel and illuminates it.
No, I think the idea of the skull lighting up as it's talking is really striking.
Okay.
I think it definitely works in terms of being a like talk box thing. It just helps sell that a little more.
Okay.
I think the only thing that might be the issue, although no, they're pretty evidently in the dark. I don't know.
My big suggestion would be is that that needs to be like you have it so close that we know it's coming from the skull.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're trying to get like it's loud and it shocks them and everything, you need to zoom it out so that you see them react to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that, and to be honest, like that top panel, as cool as it is, I think you could shrink that down to make the bottom panel more important. That one, and make that one bigger. Is because that one is like, very little happens. They're just getting in, and there's like this little bit of dialogue, but it's so like that's majority of the page, so it's taking up a lot of the information and a lot of importance on the page. When the bottom one is actually, I would actually consider that the hierarchy of emotional reactions. So that would be like the one that should actually be taking up more of the page.
Okay.
And that's my 2 cents.
So this bottom panel would be a wider shot of it, of that skull and them being lit up to contrast the panel above it. Is that kind of what you're meaning?
Yeah.
So shrink the top one down.
Yeah.
And
you could like widen it out and maybe like get like a that sort of cartoonish like the shoulder jump of like whoa, the kind of like the skull's talking in between them, and they're both kind of popping off to the sides, like, and they're kind of a little shocked that this thing started talking to them out of nowhere, and really kind of showing that thing is illuminating, if that's what you're trying to get. So that's my.
Yeah. Okay.
A couple thoughts.
Yeah.
You could always take the text and maybe have it overlap the panel where they're in complete darkness a little bit, so it kind of leads into and then show that's coming from it via a little speaker. The other question I have is, what is the importance of that text? Because did you just go away? Oh, you're back. Sorry, you glitched out for a second. What's the importance of the text? Because it sounds like they're starting the ride, but the text indicates that it's almost something is being finished.
Yeah.
And I know that they're coming from Phobos and going to town.
Yeah.
I was just a little caught up on the text being, wait, they just started the ride and it sounded like they're ending something. Oh, but they're going from.
It's like the gondola going from Disneyland back to your hotel,
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of what it is. Because at the town, they'll get out of this little abandoned entrance to the Castle of Phobos, the experience of going to see the Castle of Phobos.
So is your question how to light that panel? Is that one of your questions?
It's more of just if the storytelling makes sense from what you see visually that I'm trying to do.
Lights. Does the skull light up the whole cavern, or is it just that the skull itself kind of is
The skull eyeballs will light up, and so the next panels on the right side will be them illuminated by the skull. There's also the lights in the hallway that have lit up too.
If that's the case, I would almost think that you'd need like some sort of spacer panel between the second and third, showing that it's gone completely black.
Okay, yeah.
You know how because there's the second panel makes it feel like there's still some light going on, and if you have that blackness, you have the reader has a moment to realize that they are in pitch black.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense too.
Are you planning on also making the word balloon for the text kind of indicating that's coming from like an electrical source, like maybe some static lines or some static effects, as it coming on? Okay.
Totally, yeah.
I think, as long as you indicate that and showing that it is coming from the little speaker source and not from the from Sir in the background.
Yeah. Oh,
I think that's good.
That I can make that clear for sure. Okay.
And I would probably overlap it unless you wanted just kind of that deadpan space where they're in complete dark and there's no sound.
Yeah.
So that's your choice.
Yeah. I kind of do like the idea of them going into darkness, and then all of a sudden it just lights up and starts talking all at once, like like an old machine coming to life. So.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Just make sure it's indicating it's coming from the speaker, and that'll lead you into the next few panels pretty well.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks for this.
I think that was just cool that you got like we just talked about one, how we would all go about it, and they were drastically different.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different interpretation.
Yeah. I do think I will do probably all of your advice to a degree, so I'll shrink down.
Just so you know, if you don't take my advice, I'm going to be extremely hurt. So.
Well, I don't know about yours, but no. That's definitely was the plan, is to make the wording very clear. Electronic device.
I think everyone should have beards, and you should change the subject matter entirely.
You should call it Dead Air 2.
Got a business proposition for you? It's going to sound a little crazy, but hear me out. You work for me for free, and you get nothing from it. All right. Sign the contract. Thank you.
Let me send Steve a link. He just asked me for one. Hold on, Steve. Sending you a link right now. All right, I'm going to put it on one of you guys so that I don't have to beep that boring. Whoops. I removed someone. Oh, there we go. Nice.
I'm trying really hard not to type loudly.
It's all right.
Also,
Every time I type something, my wife says I sound like a machine gun. So
means you're working hard.
that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
It's like what's that line from SpongeBob? It's like, if you can't play well, play loud.
Oh, wow, that's so bad. My wife did not want our kids to watch SpongeBob because it would just teach like the wrong everything.
Whoa, what do you mean? What kind of bad lessons were in SpongeBob?
Well, what you just said. You don't
No,
have to
the
do
joke
that.
was that was horribly wrong.
I know, but kids don't understand that.
Sure they do. It was visually
No, the
Defend
kids
your
will imitate
childhood.
that stuff. My kids do anyway.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't
Once you have
maybe
your,
I'm just basing everything off of me and I shouldn't do that.
once you have your kids and
Yeah, I mean he's one. You know,
a little
I don't
bit.
know what it's gonna be like to
Yeah, no, it's hard because it's like you'll sit them in front and you'll think it's a good show, and then you'll be like, wow, this is political propaganda.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Very bad. Yeah.
You know?
I'll be right back, guys.
Whoa.
Not just me hearing that.
Guys.
No, it's what's happening?
Someone record this and then let's turn into like a dubstep.
What do we do? He's gone. I can't hear. I gotta mute it or something. It's funnier every time.
He is the ultimate MC, man. Amazing.
Oh my gosh. I have to. I'm sorry. I have to shut
Can
this
we
out.
mute him?
No, he's the one in control. And
No.
he's gone. Apologies to everyone watching. This is rough.
And not only that, they're watching me in very boring parts as well. So sorry. Does anyone remember Homestar Runner and
Yes.
where
Yeah, of course.
Strong Bad like makes a techno song? He basically just takes some like random track like this and like turns into a techno song. I just can't stop thinking about that right now. Oh my gosh.
This is getting rough. This is getting hard to. I feel like it's Chinese water torture, you know?
Jason just abandoned us in our hour of need.
I don't think he knew what he did.
I don't
I
think
think
so
he
either.
dropped a bomb and then just left.
It's a test of focus.
Jason! Jason! Dude, can you even hear us?
No, he's about to. Jason, can you hear us? Jason.
What's going on?
It just slowed down.
All right, he muted. He muted. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Woo!
I don't think you even know what happened.
Yeah. Hello.
Can you even hear us?
Can you hear us, Jason?
What's going on? What's going on? Oh no.
What did you do? I want to know before we tell you anything. I want to know what you
Dude,
did.
Jason, StreamYard glitched out hard
Yeah?
right when you left. You said, I'll see you later, guys. And then for the entire time you were gone, it was just, guys.
You need to go back and watch the YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
And it was, but at some point,
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm
That
crying
was
over here.
torturous. But it was
I'm
too
wondering
funny to
if-
be.
I'm wondering if I should stop using these headphones because they've glitched a couple times, and it's always when I'm trying to like mute or walk away, something weird happens.
Oh my
I
gosh,
don't
I
know.
can't breathe.
We need that comedic gold.
that was incredible.
That
Man.
was good.
It's the unscripted stuff that really hits
Aaron
hard.
said
You know?
the beat is dope. I'll have to listen to it.
Jason, you gotta take that
Jason's
and turn it into a new
beatboxing.
song.
You can take that and make it into a part of your song. You need to do it.
Oh, guys, that was. Oh, my stomach hurts. That was too good.
Jason's next electronic song.
Mhm.
Start out with that.
Every time we stopped talking, it would come.
Oh my
It would
word.
just be worse and worse.
And you guys all stayed too. That's so nice of you.
I was praying. I was like, please, God, bring him back.
I'm glad you weren't gone for like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah. I was thinking about going and starting a new coffee, so I'm glad I didn't do that.
Make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Call your wife.
Oh, they'll just be hanging out.
Clawing at the walls.
Come back to stream, it's just gone.
There's 50 people watching too. Oh boy.
There.
I'm gonna have to use my inhaler after this.
Oh man.
I don't even know what I was doing anymore. I can't think straight.
That's
You guys all have it in your head now. It's just all crazy. In the back.
Yeah, guys. It's all. It won't go away.
I remember there was a podcast by the Webtoons Weekly. Have you guys ever listened to that? It was back when I was doing Remind, and something happened on their stream that was similar to where with the host, it just started repeating, and it was just chaos, utter chaos. So that's what I'm thinking that it was. So I will be glad to go back and listen to it, see how amazing it sounds.
It's funny is that it started and you were still here and we were all screaming at you like, Jason, wait.
It was before you had even left, really. Like we were. Oh, this is the end.
Oh man, what was I doing?
Yeah, I came back and you guys are all like laughing and
Could you
talking.
not hear us?
And I couldn't hear you guys. I was like, "What's wrong with my headphones?" So anyway,
You're all just saying, Jason, please help us.
that's exactly it. We're just calling your name, going, please.
but you could still see everything like that I was doing, right? It didn't lock up like that.
No, yeah. The only thing was that you couldn't hear us, and that it was just your new single.
Yeah.
What was it called again? How'd it go?
What was it called again? Guys, what was it called? Oh.
Never a dull moment.
Just a killer.
Woo. All right.
My wife's gonna wonder, like, what was happening?
Are you actually working in there?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I'm mostly worried about. It's like,
Stop hanging out with your friends and work.
glad you're having fun.
Ruh-roh. Oh, okay.
Maybe we should do that more often. It's higher subscribers than I've ever had before. 51 people watching now.
Comedy, it's a seller.
YouTube probably tagged it as like a music channel or something.
Copyright claim.
Utterly disappointed.
That would be. I mean, that would be the only justice, right? After all of this, after the respiratory problems you've caused me.
It's good for your health.
I'm gonna be nervous every time I walk away from this thing.
They get to your headphones. What's your favorite thing to draw, everybody? You talked about least favorite. What's your favorite?
I missed the least favorite, but
Well, you
that's
can do both when you want.
Favorite thing.
I think people, characters. Yeah. Fun outfits, sci-fi. All those good things.
Least favorite?
Ooh. Background effects. Yeah. Tedious little background effects
Interesting.
that go on forever.
Fuzzy?
Yeah, I'm good.
No, I'm asking what your
Oh, not worried about my health. All right.
No, not at all.
Let's see. What is it this time? Favorite? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. My answer is the same as it's. My least favorite is my favorite, which is people. Because
You are at a conundrum.
well, it's just because like you can there's so much of a challenge, when it comes to people and like conveying emotion properly. But then when you get it right, it's so gratifying. You're like, oh my gosh, there's nothing like this, Yo, I just found a zipper that looks like running people.
Looks like running people.
Hang on. Check this out.
Everyone looks.
Oh boy.
You want me to put on your screen?
This is not what I wanted. Hang on 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
What are you doing?
Okay, can you see what I'm looking at?
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Wow.
Look at that.
Whoa.
That's not running people. Those are. Oh no.
Dude, one side's girls, one side's boys.
Okay, scroll down just a little bit.
No, I'm good.
Oh wow.
A little bit.
No. I think we're good where we're at. They're running.
Oh,
That's all they're
timer
doing.
went off.
I
My
went
timer went off.
green, buddy. Running people.
Such pure at heart.
You're gonna make Jason leave again, and you know what that means.
That's all they were doing, guys.
Fuzzy.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I was like, yeah. Oh man, they're running. I was like, oh no. He's on my screen. I found out too late.
Yeah,
Everything's fine.
I was
Yeah,
like,
come
really
back
cool
to
because
that.
you saw people, but I saw the position they were in.
No, dude. Well, because I was really focusing on the top where they weren't touching. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went,
Trying to get
uh-oh.
you down, Jason.
Whatever, it's a zipper.
They're just running.
It's just running.
Into each other's arms.
Oh. This is one of those ones where I like really hope my mom didn't watch this one. Like she just skipped this one.
I would be more worried about your wife.
Oh, whatever. If anything, she'll think that's funny and she'll laugh in my face. My mom will be like, oh, no.
I'm going to bring this up tonight.
Dude, do you want the things to go wrong? Like
It's
in the
already
same
gonna go
in the same way that they did last time?
that went in a bad way. This is funny. All I have to do is say, what about them zippers, or something like that, and everybody will be like, what about them zippers?
Great.
You're like, I don't know, Fuzzy.
So excited for that. Thank you. That's definitely gonna. This cough's getting real bad. It looks like I might not be able to come tonight.
Oh no. That's okay. There's a spot open apparently.
Hey, are there any zippers?
Yeah, there's plenty of zippers, I guess.
Everybody's a comedic genius.
I think you're one of those special people in my life where the things that you just do naturally are just hilarious, and I enjoy your presence. So thank you.
Well, that is the most wonderful thing that you have said to me yet. I was going to say that it's been said to me, but it's up there, you know. I appreciate it. I'm just so embarrassed that it's hard to feel any sort of good feelings right now. So,
Great. And I've learned this. I've been there. I've been that person a lot of time.
well, yeah, and I've done everything I can to not be that person anymore, and it just keeps happening.
No, that's the thing. You got to embrace it, because as soon as you embrace it, you don't get embarrassed by it, and therefore you're able to laugh along, and everything just kind of moves along. You know,
Totally
have-
not to be embarrassed about. It makes it so much fun.
All of the stories that I remember from all of my, what is wrong with my mouth? All of my memories from being a kid are just the embarrassing ones.
Yep.
Like I have vague ideas of good things happening to me, but most of the things I remember are just like that one time I peed on my pants, and not in, on.
Hey, Steve, welcome to the conversation.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what I just walked into. I was jamming to you guys. I was jamming to that. I'm gonna send it to my boy who does music. That was get Jason some royalty checks. Like that was fire. That was Jason. When I tell you, when you go back and watch that, it was hilarious. Like they're screaming at the top of their lungs, like Jason.
Oh man.
Oh my
Check that out.
God. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The only reason I'm able to even come in here because I took the day off. It's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
25? 25
I
years
wish. I am an old, well, not old, but today I'm 47. You know, so
Whoop, whoop.
yeah, getting
You look
closer and
good,
closer.
man.
Thank you, brother. I try. I try. I moisturize. Thank you. Yeah, I try. This is just great. I see what you guys are doing. This is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm still trapped on that thing earlier. That was just too funny. That was just too funny. If he would have went and did that coffee, oh my God.
Oh yeah, Jason, you got a new member.
New member. What? Let me find him.
So what is
Unless I'm
that? That's like the YouTube version of Patreon?
Jesse Jenkins, welcome, buddy.
I believe so.
And you
Oh.
can, and now Jesse, now that you're a member, you can actually read Phobos online. I sent links to all the members. It's a YouTube post only for members, so only
Nice.
patrons and YouTube members get to see it. Welcome.
Jason, just to touch back on what they were saying earlier about you being able to fund a book before you actually do it and stuff.
Mhm.
I think you can get away with that. I think you have a bigger following for people to trust you in the process with everything that you're doing. I think you could definitely get away with it.
I
Because
think for sure.
yeah, because people trust you and they trust in your thing, and you don't have to kill yourself, you know, for you to say, oh, I need to put this money in first. If you say, I have an idea, here's the idea, I got a couple of sketches, here what I came up with, I need this much amount of money to get it started. People will back you. I know I would.
Especially since you have the history of finishing
Yeah,
crowdfunding projects. Like
Yeah.
you've got the clout for it, you know.
absolutely.
Even to somebody who doesn't know you, they could see and go like, yeah, I've had this many successful ones, and this is the quality that you can expect, and I deliver, you know.
Yeah.
Especially you were always saying how that the money towards the end is able to help you, live and pay bills and things. But if you get it up front, now you don't have to worry about the bills and everything else already. Like you already go. And I think knowing the way you are, it'll motivate you even more to put out like an amazing product.
Yeah.
So I say you might just go for it. I say, why not?
Yeah. So yeah, I love that idea of just saying I need, whatever, how many thousand it is to just cover a year's worth of production, which would be my bills,
Yeah, I actually backed somebody recently that did that, and I didn't even know. I thought I was dealing with a project that they were doing, but they were actually just asking for help to continue the project and continue like helping them live. So I was like, all right, cool. So then I did that, and then they said, oh, I'll send you the project once it's done. And I'm one of these people, like, out of sight, out of mind. I don't care. Like, by the time I turn around, the book is here, and I'm like, oh, great, it's here. I'm not haunting you for it. So
yeah. Well, that's helpful in making decisions for future campaigns. I've had enough campaigns that weren't successful, but it's just because it's outside of the main audience,
right.
And so it always kind of puts that doubt in my mind. If I don't do it the same way I've been doing it, it might not work out as the way I think. But
worst come to worst, you could just turn around and go back to the same way you always know how to do your campaign.
You're totally right. Yeah.
But I think you'll be very successful because look at first of all, look at your the cognitive drawing, how successful that is right now. You didn't think it was going to be as big as it is right now. Look at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's going.
Your audience really trusting you and what you're doing. So you definitely got something going on. I wouldn't put it past it. It would definitely work.
Yeah. Well, that might be a good idea to do. Well, so my plan for this year is to finish the Phobos pages. And I think, Zach, I think I'm going to just keep streaming after this cognitive drawing campaign's done, because every day I'm getting another spread done pretty much. And if I keep this up, then in 6 weeks I'll have the 300-page book done. So from this point, and so that just is a no-brainer. Like, okay, I could just get the next book. I could get the 300-page Phobos book done. That means I could probably launch a campaign in I'll probably launch it in July or something. And this would be done.
Pardon me.
Send to the printer and it would be done. But the next one's the question mark. Like, are people going to want to keep supporting Phobos and keep it going? And so that one could be the test, Steve, that you're saying. Like, I need, 70,000 or whatever, 60,000 to print it and fund my year's worth of expenses and production expense for Phobos 2. If you guys want it, like, help me hit this goal, and then that will cover the.
I think you'll get it. Yeah, I think you'll get it. Phobos is such a project that you love, and you wanted to do it since you were younger, and all of that energy you put out, people feel it. You know what I'm saying? You gravitate. Everybody gravitates towards you with all of these books you're doing. Like I said, look at cognitive drawing. It's amazing. Everybody's just running over to grab it. So yeah, I think you could do it. I think you could do it.
Thanks, man. That makes sense to try that for at least for Phobos 2. I mean, it's the perfect way to transition into that kind of campaign for sure. Yeah, I never thought about that until you just mentioned it. Like that could be the next one.
Absolutely, it can definitely be the next one. I mean, you can do it, man. It's to me, it's a no-brainer. You've spent this many years building up your audience, and it just systematically seems to just keep growing. So why not just be like, hey guys, I need this in order to finish this project. And if you loved Phobos 1, here's what I need for Phobos 2.
Yeah, and it makes sense for like these streaming purposes. If I continue to stream while I'm trying to raise funds for that campaign. It's just all marketing for it. So yeah, it just
Absolutely.
makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Absolutely. And then you can add just your new track to it. Yeah,
I need to. I'll have to edit that to the intro to make it the new intro.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Guys.
guys.
No, like a true drop.
Yeah. guys. Oh my God, that would be awesome. That'd be like the intro to Phobos. It'd be great. It would just be great.
Open up Logic tonight and see what I can do.
Logic, wow, I haven't heard that in years.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Logic in years. But yeah, definitely I also want to thank you, Jason. Like I said, I sent you that page. That page I sent you and then you inspired me with the whole octopus thing when you did it on Phobos, because I needed something towards the end of my book and I couldn't think of anything, and I saw like that octopus. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Time to steal.
Yeah, well, it turned out good on your page.
Yeah, thank you. It definitely came out really nicely. I'm working literally on like the last like final fight scene type thing right now, so I can't really show this part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really much enjoying it. My wife was like, what are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, working? She's like, it's your birthday. I'm like, I can't do anything. It's quarantine outside. Like, where am I going?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I might as well work, and hopefully by my next birthday, I'm actually like handing out the table and doing what I got to do.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. 1 second. What happened, Beth? They don't have the what?
That was me muting him, Fuzzy.
What?
I muted him. He didn't just turn away from the camera and mute him.
All right.
Conspiracy theories and whatnot.
Sorry, I'm back. We're ordering my birthday dinner. I'm having
Ooh, yeah. Good choice.
Yeah. I don't really eat red meat like that, but every now and then.
Yeah. I love red meat.
Every now and then I'll have a nice steak. But yeah, hopefully that, like I said, next year I'll have this whole done and colored and out and promoting it, because I've been promoting it for so long. I actually was supposed to do a podcast or interview with somebody today, but their entire internet infrastructure in their building's being redone. So so he said by Sunday. I was like, okay. I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely gonna be I can't wait.
Yeah.
Steve, how are you? Are you kickstarting it, or what are you doing to get it out there?
Well, I'm probably gonna use Indiegogo. Like me and Jason have talked about it back and forth, and he was like, he suggested that for my book, he thinks like Indiegogo would be better. But I'm taking a page from Jason. I'm pretty much gonna like have 80-90% of it done already, and I'm talking financially, like everything done. Like, so hopefully the Kickstarter and everything like that will just give me my money back. That's all I want. Like, hopefully get some of my money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you say financially done, do you also mean that you want like the comic almost to the point of being completely finished, where you have a little bit left?
Like almost to completely finished. Like I have to pay the colorist, and because I'm not coloring it, I'm learning how to color now, and that's horrible. But I gotta pay him. I have to pay the printer. and then I have to figure out how I'm gonna get it shipped to everybody. Most likely, I'm not doing what Jason does with the whole doing it yourself. I don't have that many friends, so for people to come over and do the partying and shipping everything out myself, that's not gonna happen. So I'm probably just gonna get somebody to just ship it and hopefully get it out there, and then hopefully, like I said, the Indiegogo will give me my money back. If not, it's cool. It's cool because for me, it's just about getting it out there. It's something. Report, yeah, I've had it for a year, and it's not like I'm not stressing cash right now because I am working. I have a full-time job, and by the grace of God, I've been able to continue working. So hopefully everything will work out, and then this will be my full-time job. So we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you. Definitely. We'll see what's going on. I have so many stories I want to do. And my friends have called me like so many times. They're like, "Oh my God, you're still doing that?" I'm like, "Yeah." Because we started off as like when Image broke up and did their big thing when they broke away from Marvel, and I was like, "Oh my God, look what they're doing. We could do something like that." And then it started off with like 10 guys, and we were coming up with ideas, and it dwindled down to 8, then 7, then 5, then 3, then me. So but it's amazing because a lot of guys are calling me back now, and they're just like, "Oh my God, you're still doing that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're not in a place in their lives where they're happy, and they're like, they fell to what would consider regular life, so they're very unhappy. And some of them are making really good money, but they're not happy.
Yeah.
When people ask, "Oh, you're still working on that?" Like, "Oh yeah, you just snap your hands and art appears." So
exactly, that's how it works. But like one of my friends, he wrote a story that I love to this day, and I always wanted to work on it. But he's one of these guys that he has to see it materialize in front of him to actually see oh my God, it's actually working. And when I actually did it and he saw the book and he was like, "Oh, how many pages are you in?" So he's thinking 10, 5. I'm like 250. And he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
He's like, "When do you have yeah, exactly." And he's like, "When do you have time to do that?" I said, "I don't sleep." Like that's my secret. I don't sleep. And then the thing for me is he doesn't do art, he doesn't draw, he doesn't do anything. All he does is and not to diminish writers, but I'm like, you writing. I'm like, so what? So and you have no children, no wife, no nothing. So what's stopping you from doing this story? And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then that's when the conversation stopped. I was like, "Okay, bye." I don't have time for your conversation right now. But he's going back to it, and he wants me to help him, which is great because I love the story. I just want a piece of the pie. It's different.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. Like, you know what I wanted to ask you guys? As far as like, I know Jason is Coffee Table Comics, and you guys I don't know, are you under your names or are you under your company? And if so, did you like copyright the name? I know some people don't. They just make up the name and then they just shoot it out there. They don't care. But are you guys like, you copywritten your names and your comic is under your company?
I'm not copyrighted technically, but I do have an IED or EID, whatever it's called, for my name, Fuzzy Comics. So
okay,
like the
taxable under the business name.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had it under my name for a while when I was actively selling in our last place. We were in Virginia, but right now I don't have it under really anything. I go back and forth sometimes. Jessica Vanderpool under illustration or something. I also do children's books too.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
widely different things. So I'm trying to figure out how to brand children's books versus graphic novels and things of that nature. So I'm Still,
Yeah,
a lot
that's-
of excited.
Yeah, that's my problem right now, because initially when we first started this whole project, well, back in the day we had a name, and then since we're not together anymore, whatever, I was like, should I still use that name to put my book under, or should I just use my name and then just put the book under that, and then maybe later on, if I decide to do the company, then rebrand it under the company? I don't know.
Steve, I would just use your name as much as you can, because you're like Stan. I mean, think of Stan Lee. Stan Lee's name is a brand, and the only reason all his content is under Marvel is because he worked for Marvel. But Stan Lee was the creator of so many of those properties.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
And
it makes sense.
Especially because you're like me, like we're trying to get our stuff out there to an audience.
Right.
I've been doing it a little longer, so I have a little bit more of an audience, but it's still a matter of getting a brand new name in front of people. You already have your book name and you have your name. That's two names already you're trying to get people to memorize. If you muddy it more with a company name, it's just more that people have to memorize.
Makes sense.
If I could go back 5 years when I first moved here, I wouldn't have pushed Coffee Table Comics as hard as I would have, as hard as I did. I would have just pushed Jason Brubaker.
Makes sense.
On
Makes sense.
the similar but inverse of that, I just try not to let people know my real name. Just go by Fuzzy, because it's all of it's a brand.
Yeah. See, I think that's smart too, because Fuzzy is a real easy thing to remember. That's a real easy name.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, your name Fuzzy is your name.
It is.
That's your nickname. That's what people called you for years.
Yeah.
So had they not called you Fuzzy, you might have just used your real name going forward.
Yeah.
Too true.
So I think it works great for what you're doing.
Yeah, it definitely works. It definitely works.
I was agreeing with what you were saying, Jason, just in a different way. Like,
no, absolutely.
Just pick one thing and don't try to bombard people with like 20 different names.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the company name thing comes in when it's more than you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that was going to be another thing I was just going to say, Steve. If you created that with someone else, I wouldn't use that. That's just going to cause more problems later on.
I hear you. That's true. I hear you.
Friends and all that stuff. You might as well just make it really crystal clear that it's your.
It's just me. All right, that's what's up. I actually appreciate that. Thank you. Oh man, that's all I've been thinking about is this book. I just can't wait to finish. Oh god. Oh man. But I can't wait to see it in color. I didn't hear you, Jessica.
I just said it's one of those feelings of you're like so close yet so far.
Oh yeah, it's like you're in the desert and you can see that glass of water and it's right there in front of you. You're just like, oh god,
there.
It's right there. I'm so thirsty. Oh man, who was just using Clip Studio just now? I saw the zipper brush and
me.
I love that program. Oh god,
it's so nice. It's so
isn't
nice.
it? It is.
Yeah.
It's so.
We don't need to talk about zippers for too long, though.
I don't know.
No, let's move on. We don't need to. Zipper brush is great. I
I'm
agree.
talking about brushes. That's it.
I'm gonna have to. I gotta draw like a really detailed version of this later. I don't want to be thinking about it like that while I'm doing it. You know.
I hear you.
Ooh.
Everybody's got their concentrated face on now. It's like everybody's concentrated. So
question, because I'll be like, what?
Who?
Huh?
Guys. I really need to hear that. Man.
Oh my god.
You going over today, Jason?
I think so because I kind of want to get this.
I mean, you are, but I don't know how long you think you're gonna go.
Probably till at least 3. I mean, which that's a half an hour from now. Yeah. And yeah, you don't have to hang out the whole time if you got to go. But
Jason, in your song, you got to add Jessica's clicking to it as well, man. That it sounded it sounded like tap dancing earlier. I was like, what is that?
Man, this
Maybe it was tap dancing. You won't know.
Yeah, I actually have this. My wife got it for me like a couple of years ago, and it's Folk Clip Studio. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I've got.
It's like a baby Wii remote.
Yeah, and you can
That's awesome.
you can set all the buttons to what you need, and
Ooh.
this it wasn't working initially, but I think since they updated it, it started working. So now I have to start setting it. It's actually,
But you have to hold it the whole time, right?
Yeah, you hold it like you just hold it like this. It's not a bother. It's just
Okay.
you just sit there with
That's
it.
like
and it's
the. That's
Oh,
like
you have
this one.
too.
You have one. Wait. Oh, let me put you on screen.
Am I in the middle?
Everyone
There we
has a
go.
fancy
Yeah,
device.
Oh yeah, that's
just,
what I have.
okay.
yeah. That comes with the Cintiq, and it's got about 50 buttons, and I think I use all of them. So
Nice.
there's
Next
never
about this.
enough.
You just rest your hand on it though, so you're like in mission control.
It
Really cool. Oh yeah,
is. It's nice.
buttons are so
It's
warm.
nice.
They're just worn off by this point. Oops.
That's
Oh, and I almost forgot the coolest part.
I can't see it.
It glows.
It
Let
glows.
me put you on screen.
Oh wow! It glows in the dark.
I mean, obviously the best feature.
Absolutely
It will help you the art better when, it
in
glows.
the dark.
When you're up all night because you're not sleeping, right?
Exactly.
Making
That's dope. That is dope. I might, if this one doesn't work too much, because it seems to be working now. So if it doesn't, I'll definitely look into getting one like you, because it does help. Okay.
I'm looking for a setup a little bit like this. If I can,
Wow.
Make that happen.
Whoa,
Wow. That's a serious setup.
that's mission control for sure.
For sure. Wow. And
You know, now
long
that I
will
look at
take you to-
Sorry, go ahead.
No, how long will it take you to put something together like that?
Well, the video I'm on right now is actually he shows you how to make it.
Oh no, I'm not that guy. My desk will look nothing like that. I would just pay him to build it and send it to me. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Good to have goals.
I know my limits.
My real dream is to have like a circular around me, so that I enter it like a pod and then
just shut the world outside
Yeah.
around you.
exactly.
Your child banging on the glass like, Daddy.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing.
Somebody's dying out there and I couldn't hear them.
All work and no play make fuzzy a dull boy.
But you know what? People don't understand that we actually, I don't know, I actually enjoy this. Like, my wife doesn't understand. She said, how do you enjoy doing this? I said, I enjoy it. Like, I sit down, I create, it makes me happy, and she don't get it.
Yeah. Everyone has their thing.
Absolutely.
My wife loves exercise, and I don't get it. But she loves it. And, she's smiling when she's doing it. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, super buff.
Why he sounds?
It's so weird to me because it's pain. Exercise is like going to a gym is just like just the worst thing in the world.
So Jason, you don't exercise with her?
No.
It sounds like you just watch her.
I told her if she can.
Just watch her while you sit, and like eat Doritos or something.
No, she goes to she does CrossFit, so she teaches pound and she goes
Wow.
to CrossFit and does that almost every morning, and that she teaches at the college here. She teaches a class and teaches for kids classes and very active with exercise since we moved here. She just loves it.
So is she doing like video streaming the exercises?
Yeah, she's been doing that a little bit recently because she had to, you know.
Right.
And that's when I noticed that she smiles. I'm like, wait, you really like this? Like,
But I mean, I get what she does. I mean, I exercise and I've done like Insanity and P90X and those things like that. And right now I'm doing like those what do you call it, the gymnastic rings, like body training.
okay, yeah.
I've lost a lot of weight and I feel healthy. It's great, you know.
Yeah.
So
No,
I get it.
I'm really proud of her how she's just found the thing that she really wants to go after right now.
That's what's up. That's definitely. Did
and-
we lose Jessica?
Oh no, looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great though, Jason. That's great. One day she's gonna wake you up early in the morning, like, let's go.
Yeah. Well, I told her she wants to get into
Welcome back.
training and stuff, and I told her if you can like get me to like do things, then you will be the best personal trainer ever.
If you can get me to love exercising, someone will pay you
To
an
smile.
enormous amount of money. And
Oh,
a
we're talking
scene-
exercise.
Yeah, Jason's wife is in love with doing exercise, and you missed the smile like he said his wife has on her face when she's exercising, and he's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why she's happy because that looks painful.
Because it's endorphins. Endorphins
Yeah.
make you happy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's more like, why don't I get endorphins when I exercise? You know,
Yeah.
what's wrong with me?
It doesn't work for me then. Yeah.
Jason said, I gotta go to the doctor, check my endorphin levels because it's not working.
Is she doing CrossFit?
She does CrossFit and then she also teaches pound classes.
What is pound classes?
Pound is you have like weighted drumsticks and she puts together music tracks and they have choreographed.
Wow.
And
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's
Is it
really
like a taiko drumming?
I don't know what that is.
Japanese.
Big
drum.
The big drum.
No, you don't have a drum kit at all. So you do it on a mat and hit the floor and you ping the sticks together and some of it you do
Oh,
with
I've
your
seen
back.
that. Right.
It's really cool. Like it's
I
a
have seen that.
cool type of exercise, but you gotta have rhythm. So there's another reason I'm not.
What do you mean? You said you do music as a
And
hobby.
we've heard your music. Like you
Well,
have rhythm. Like
I can dance.
I just understand music.
Yeah.
There is a difference. That's great. I would love to like see one of her classes, or like she should start like a YouTube.
Yeah,
channel or something.
I've asked, talked to her about that, but I don't think she's quite ready for that because the kind of criticism from outsiders would be kind of a negative thing for her, you know. Like, she has her class members that she loves up on and helps and takes care of them, and so it's very intimate and special for her, and she's helping these women, you know, with getting their exercise going and stuff, and so it's not like a judgmental type thing like YouTube can be, you know, especially for exercise.
Right.
And oh, look at me, look how fit I am, you know.
Mhm.
So
Just shut the comments off.
yeah, she could. She definitely could. I think she'll get there. I think it's just a matter of time. I think there'll be
I think a lot of times it's just, especially when you put yourself out there, it's just growing thick skin and just letting it just wash off you.
Yeah.
You know, like I know I'm gonna get criticisms. I know people are gonna say certain things, but it's just gonna be like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. And it may be a somebody who has constructive criticism. So it'd be like, oh, I didn't understand this. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know.
So she's still teaching. How's she teaching during this time?
She's made a couple videos specifically for the college, and but it's slowed down a lot. So she started doing some CrossFit stuff in our garage. I made her some a box so that she can jump up and down off of, and
Pull-up bar.
got some rings and stuff. And so we're trying to get her a place in the garage to be able to do it if she needs to. But she still loves to just go and have the camaraderie with the people in the gym and stuff. So
Yeah.
Oh, she's doing the ring training. That's what I'm doing right now. The gymnastic rings. Those are horrible. They're killing you.
Muscle ups.
She used to do a lot of gymnastic stuff too when she was a kid. So she's
what it was that I looked up. I was looking one day. I think it was like a gymnastics magazine I was looking at, and I'm wondering why these guys look like this. You know, and I'm looking to see if they lift weights and this and the other. And they're like, no, all they do is pull up their own body weight. And I'm like, oh no, I got to figure this out.
Mhm. Yeah, I tried putting one of her exercise videos on YouTube for a pound, and just so that her class could see it. YouTube just shut it down as before it even went live, even though it was unlisted. And it's because one of the tracks, the copyright holder, they didn't even want to collect the royalties. They or the money from it. They just didn't want anyone to use it at all.
Wow.
They just made the video unavailable, and so I was like,
Well, I mean,
really weird.
there's ways around. You know, you get free music, or you get somebody that wants to promote their music, and you be like, oh, and you put the name of the track underneath it, and as you're playing, each time the music changes, you get somebody else, and you know, I don't understand that person at all, because I'm like, that's free advertisement for me. What do I care?
Yeah, well, that's what's so weird about the music thing. And she pays for a music license, so it's all songs that she has to use that have a license attached to it to use it for £1. And so she's already paying to have a license to use these tracks for the purpose.
That's weird.
But it was like a Justin Bieber song or something. They're just, nope, we control your video now. Like you can't even play it.
But you have it in an area where I can download it, and I'm paying for it. So I don't understand. That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't care. Give them all the profit. I mean, 5 people are going to watch it. It's just the class members. And if anything, it's just going to promote the song if they like it. If it sucks, who cares?
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
I don't know what the stranglehold is about. I don't know why it's
I've noticed that a lot with like a lot of music out there when it comes to these copyright things and this and the other. You have like a small smidgen of their song, and then they get upset. Yeah, we hear you.
Do you not hear us anymore, Jessica?
My internet's bad. I'm trying to reset it.
No.
I'm going to leave and come back one more time.
Okay. Yeah, that whole music game. That's why, like, any music I'm doing, I'm just getting my friend to create it for me, and it'll be under him. You know, that's it. And I have friends in the music industry, so I'll just call them and be like, "Hey, I need a favor."
Yeah. It's weird though. Even when I upload my own music to YouTube, all the streams where I upload music at the beginning, they immediately got claimed or shut down for violating copyright, even though it's my music. I don't understand it, like no one actually claims it, but YouTube will shut it down.
And what did YouTube tell you about that?
They just do it temporarily. They'll eventually put it back up, but it's always the music that triggers it.
Well, I think the only thing I can think of is that they shut it down to check it, I guess,
yeah.
and then they upload it after and say, okay, it doesn't belong to anybody that's listed. So
Yeah.
What a terrible system.
yeah,
If that's the case, I mean, gosh.
yeah.
So is it an algorithm that just seeks out music that matches like
I
certain
don't know.
tracks, or how is that?
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
I mean, it's good.
I
It's
don't
good
get
for
it.
me to know if I ever start, YouTubing and can't use any. Like, I guess that means that you just can't use any music apart from your
Well,
own.
like I was telling them,
that.
if you have friends that do music, just get them to help you. Like I have friends that do music, so I'm just gonna call them and be like, hey, like with my campaign for this book, I'm actually doing like an eight track album with it. And my friend it's just gonna be a link that you can just download the music, and it's like in the whole theme of the way the book is going. So some of that music I'll be using to my Indiegogo campaign and things like that. So hopefully YouTube don't tell me nothing, because I'm gonna look at them like they crazy. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can give you the phone number of the guy who created it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I have a question for
Yeah.
Clip Studio. Who knows how to make a stroke like you do in Photoshop, but in Clip Studio?
Oh, like make a brush.
No, like you're trying to stroke something, you're putting an outline around something.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah.
don't know. Do they do?
I know. Yeah, I know how to do it. Hold on. What exactly? Show me where's your screen?
I'm just trying to put an outline around some FX words, and I don't want to put into Photoshop right now.
Do you want to show your screen, Jessica, and then?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not showing my screen.
I think if you hit, yeah, I don't know. What,
Okay.
I know that that's one of the things that gets dropped out of my files when I transfer them over to Clip Studio is the outline stroke.
Unless you rasterize it.
Unless you
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, you see that? Okay, I don't know if it's there.
Here, let me
Yeah, zoom her screen in. Are you on the layer that with the words? With the. All right, so above it, all the way at the top, you should see something that says effects.
Okay. Oh,
On that same
the
panel.
tool?
No. Go on the right hand side, yeah, and go all the way to the top.
Okay.
You should see something that says, I think you may have to rasterize it.
I'm pretty sure you do layer properties or layer property.
Yeah, move that up.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Layer properties. And if it's too, I could probably look up layer settings.
I could just do it on my screen.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was going to show you on my screen as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to bumble around being like, where am I?
Unless I'm confused about what you're talking about. You're talking about doing
That looks
this,
like it.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's exactly.
so,
Yep.
I don't know if
Yep.
you can see over here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got layer property, right?
Okay.
It's like its own separate thing, and it'll have things like that, and turning it to,
Oh, wow.
so.
Layer properties.
Yeah,
Where
I
are
love that thing. I use it a lot.
you? I'm just gotta find the layer Once I find the layer properties, that makes sense. Thank you.
No problemo.
Yay! One less
Uh-oh.
thing happened. Toss button.
Look at that monstrosity.
Perfect.
That is perfect.
Oh, you
Not that
want
it's-
everything outlined? Yes. We can do that.
We can do that
for you.
with one click of a button.
Uh,
Only artists get that joke. Everybody else like, what the hell?
all
You
right.
guys are weird.
How you doing, Golma guy?
Oh, I'm over here. Just working.
He said, just minding my business. God, that's gorgeous.
I was
Look
really
at that.
and you guys were talking about Clip Art Studio, and I haven't played around with it enough to know anything, so I was just keeping quiet.
I think you would have a great time with it.
No, I got it. I went out and got the actual like the full version through the EX.
Mm-hmm.
They paid the big dollar for it,
Right.
and but I just haven't dived into it because I'm trying to get this comic done. And probably for my next comic, I'll probably try and use it. But
Yeah. I completely deleted Photoshop off my computer. I was done.
yeah, Photoshop. But I think I'm like reaching the end of this piece. So
How many pages is your book?
mine's it expanded.
You're talking to somebody with 250 pages, like so.
I messed up. Sorry. So now it's more. So it's more than 100 pages is all I can really say.
Okay. That's amazing. And they're all painted like this?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is different. But yeah, they're all painted. This is the same technique I'm using inside the book. But
Wow. That's amazing. Are you doing the lettering and everything too?
yeah, I'm doing the lettering. So
That's amazing.
well, thank you.
All right.
Sure you
That's
got
why I
a
couldn't
copy.
find it.
You'll be getting mail. You'll have it. I'll make sure to say thank you, Steve.
That's gorgeous. Jason, I might need your help to try to find a font that kind of works with my book. I'm not trying to create a new one. I'm not. I'm not doing that.
I have no luck in finding fonts, and so I end up making my own just because it's so hard for me to figure out what matches.
Well, but nothing matches with yours because you have like this beautiful sketchy looking style, and if you try to put those straight looking fonts on top of it, it just doesn't work together. But
Yeah.
the font that you created works beautifully with it.
Have you looked around at like Blambot and stuff like that?
Did I look around where? Who?
Blambot,
Blambot? Oh,
BLAMBOT. It's just a huge archive of fonts,
oh wow! Look at that.
and they all have different licensing. So you just gotta kind of read the fine print. Some of them are free, some of them are, $70. Some of them are $5 or whatever.
It's
So-
fine. Whatever one that works with this works. I will look into it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because now I have to shift gears and start thinking about that kind of that thing because since I'm getting close to the end of the book.
Yeah.
Oh, and thanks again for the InDesign file.
Yeah.
That definitely I can see how you do the layouts and stuff. That was nice. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know why.
So with most of the companies, you have to send them an InDesign file, right?
That's just been my experience. I'm assuming there's something else that they can use as well, but I just don't know. I've always worked with the same printer, and that's kind of what they like. And so I've just kept using it, but there's got to be something else that they would use.
Oh, okay. Why am I only seeing myself and not everybody else? Where did everybody else go? Interesting.
Let's see.
Oh.
It was Jason.
Oh, it was Jason. Okay, I thought it was my
Looking
computer.
at Goma guy.
Oh.
I no longer have a name. Just Golma guy.
All right.
Golma guy,
If
Fuzzy.
that's the name you put in there, you just can't help it.
Yep, and I know.
It's good for branding. I'm telling you. Just stick
Yeah.
with your thing.
Everybody's got Golma, and oh, book.
It's the Goma guy.
Oh my god,
So is this part of your book or this is something different?
this is actually something different. This is my, I guess you'd say, gold winning piece on last night's Drawn and Quartered.
Oh,
And I have to send a printout to the random person that won a raffle, as per the rules. And I said, "Hey man, do you mind if I color the thing up? I was gonna do it anyways. You wanna wait, and I'll color it up. And I'll send you out a color print." I think I was super excited.
oh wow, nice.
So I didn't know about that rule.
Yeah, no, that's the rule.
Do you have to pay for it to be like? How does that work? What is?
Does what work?
I mean, are you like? What kind of a print? What level of print are we talking about here?
No, just it doesn't have to be anything extremely expensive. You know.
You can print it on your computer if you have a printer.
Oh, okay. Well,
I had problems with it too because all my printers are like real basic office printers, and then I don't have any paper other than copy paper, so I was trying to find a website to print it, and then finally
Matt Weldon.
Matt Weldon sent it off for me. At least he said he was going to. So
He's a reliable
I
guy.
sent him the files.
That's only if you get gold. So. Unfortunately for Jason, he did twice in a row.
Yeah.
So wait, what is that rule about printing?
When you have to send a print.
Yeah, on the Pro Edition.
Not on the ultimate one, but
Yeah.
You have to send in a print?
so what they do is they'll have some the chat will have everybody put their names in or whatever, and then they'll have a way to randomly pick one of those names, and then that person gets a print of the winner's drawing.
Yeah.
Ah. I see. That's cool.
So you guys want to see my birthday present?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my wife got me.
Whoa!
Wow.
That is epic.
That's big. Is it all the inks without any of the colors?
No, it's the pages, because this is the actual size of the.
Yeah. So,
the-
yes, it is the inks.
Yes, the inks.
Wow, that's really neat.
How much was that? I want that.
This one is the second volume, so this one is about like $200. This one is still kind of sort of in print. The first volume is not, and the beautiful thing is that some of them come with it's like 1 in 100 come with like a drawing. Unfortunately, I was not one of those, but he did sign it.
Wow.
So yeah. So I have that one, but it also goes with this one, which is the first volume, which you can't find anymore because it's out of print. And this one, though, comes with a original drawing.
Dang.
Ooh.
And
That is neat.
this is because these are the actual pages. He never sold the pages, so they were able to collect all the pages and make the book. So it's amazing how you're able to see his inks and what he did and the drawings, and
His stuff is so beautifully done.
it is. I think Jason, I think you should actually, because I think that the volume 2 is on there. I think you would really appreciate it. Like it's so good. Like I was so giddy. My wife and she's so funny because she asked me to clean off the bed because there was clothes on the bed and my book was under the bed. That was under the clothes. I'm like, you really gonna make me do laundry on my birthday?
Oh, you sweetheart.
Yeah, exactly. So I love it. But I looked up to see if there was like any like, oh, here's the back. Back is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was looking to see if he and it has texture on it, which is really nice. I was looking to see if he did it like in the drawings anyplace else, because I heard, I was like, because if you look at the box, it says what does it say? It says 1 in 100 gets an art, and another 1 in 6 has a certified notarized seal. So I was like, damn, I wish I was one of the 100. I was like, oh man.
No, what is this from? This isn't from that Spawn campaign happening right now, is it?
No. That's the toy. He did this a long time ago. I think this was from IDW.
Oh, okay.
I think they put it together. Is it IDW? I don't know who put this together. I think it was Image. It just says Image. It doesn't say IDW. So I guess they must have did it and put it together for him. But my wife was like, she didn't understand why it was so large like this. And I'm like, because these are the actual comic size pages. So I actually, when I print out my book, I actually want to do this like this. And on the blacks, I think somebody had suggested it for me to go over it with ink, with actual ink. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. So yeah, just seeing stuff like this inspires me, because you see you see some of the mistakes and you see the blacks, and it's just like, and you actually see like the page issues and the little notes that he did. So I definitely wanted to grab these before the prices start going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Thanks. Like, I love it. Soon as I get a house, I'm going to be able to display all these in my office. But until then, it goes back in the closet. But I love his work ethic. I love his the way his campaign was amazing for that toy. He got my money. Like it's crazy. It almost made $4 million in a month.
Really? I haven't watched it since it started.
Hold on, I'll tell you the exact last number. And this is just a toy that he's launching, like 3,447,390. So almost 30, yeah. 3 million, more than $3 million, and 23,761 backers.
Wow. 23,000 backers.
And half of them are like brand new to crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because nobody, I don't think anybody really bought the single pack. Everybody went for the big boy, the 160 something pack, which gives you all three, and he's throwing all of these extras here and there. And I was like, because he confused me with the campaign. He was like, oh, you get this and you get, I'm like, okay, no, this is just confusing. Which one gives me all three? Thank you. Here's my money. Thank you. Bye.
I looked at his campaign. It was confusing.
Yeah, it was. It was so confusing. It was just like, and he was trying to explain it, and I was just like, yeah, dude, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Here's my money. Just give me all three. But I think he's doing like a comic book in each one, which, gravitates to me immediately. So I'm like, hey, give me that too. I'll take everything you got. Mm-hmm. But for him to get close to that, like, it made $1 million in less than like 3 days, Jason.
Oh yeah, I saw it when it launched, and I saw that. Yeah, I just stopped watching it after a week or so.
I stopped watching it after I sent my money. I was like, yeah. I'll say, call me when it's finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just because he's branded himself so well since and it's not overnight. A lot of people think it's overnight, and it's not.
No,
You know?
yeah, not at all.
A lot of people think it's overnight and this, that, and the other, and I was like, nah, it's not. But a lot of people don't even realize when he initially when he was doing the toys. I think we talked about this. Like he bought those baseballs that broke the world breaking thing, whatever, and he spent $2 million on these balls. But then he did it so he can get the licensing, and then he made like 30 million on the licensing. So I was like, so you spend two to make 30. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a really smart businessman.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he was, from what I understand, he was also the catalyst to with the whole image thing too. So he was like putting a bug in everybody's ear, because when you talk, when you look at the interviews with all the guys, they were like, yeah, McFarlane was like really in their ear about leaving.
Yeah.
Marvel. He was like, yo, we could do our own thing. Let's just go. I was like, yeah. So without guys like him, I would wonder like where the independent. I mean, even though there was independent things, like to watch guys at that caliber just say, "The hell with it, let me just go here."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
that was so cool. I remember when that was
tortured.
happening.
You know, like. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Fabi.
I can't imagine what I was going to say was nearly as interesting as what you were going to say. Go ahead.
Somebody talk.
I remember I got into comics shortly before Image started because I was just in love with his Spider-Man stuff, and that just is the start of my comic book love. And then shortly after, like within a year, they launched Image, and it just made me freak out because it's like all the best artists are starting their own thing. It's like it really inspired, I think, so much of my decision making, even now, just thinking that an artist can do their own thing. So cool.
Now, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just saying that it is upsetting, but people, the majority of people are happy to just be in a bad spot, and it takes someone like him to talk them out of it, Like,
but I think you need that person. You need that person in your life to say, "What are you doing? Like, look at you. You're very talented. You this, that, and the other." Jason had himself, but a lot of times we don't have that person. We don't even have a lot of people don't even believe in themselves to actually say, "Oh, you know what? Let me just do my own thing and throw caution to the wind and just see where it lands me." A lot of people are scared, and I don't blame them, but you'll never know. You never know what you can do unless you try.
Yeah. And
I'm very happy that I'm doing this, because the amount of love I'm getting from this and just to see it just come to life. Now, have you guys, any of you guys who are using Clip Studio, have you tried to use the 3D binding thing to see your book flip?
Yeah, I actually tried it the other day with Phobos, just to see what it looked like.
Nope. Okay.
It didn't even know it existed.
I found it by accident.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm excited to use it when I actually have enough content to. One day.
One day.
Until then. Yeah.
Does it have like a name?
What?
That I can look up a tutorial on how to do it?
No, there is no tutorial on here, but you don't really need a tutorial. It's like, as long as you have like, I don't know if Jason can show my page, because I'm up right now.
Let's see, where are you at? I don't see it.
I have to do it, right? Oh, share screen.
Share your screen. Okay, there we go.
All right, so you have all your. I don't know if you have your pages kind of laid out the way here that I have it here on Clip Studio, but if you go here, and then you go to export multiple pages, and then you just go to 3D preview for binding, and it'll literally just. Oh, I have to save whatever the hell I was doing. Save. Okay. Don't you crash on me. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. All right. Come on. I was only working on one page, man. All right. So you go here, you go to export multiple pages, you go to 3D preview for binding. And then you just hit OK when this comes up, and then you just wait for it to process. And if you've never done this before, it's just going to literally systematically look at every single page that you have on here. So it may take a while. Like right now with mine, it's just looking at these last couple of pages. And then once it puts it together, it just renders it out for you, and you can actually look at it. Creating data to check.
I'm so excited.
I hope this thing. Come on. You're making me look bad, computer. I've had this computer for about 6 to 7 years now.
Ooh,
Yeah, it might be time to.
it's old in computer years.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's worse than dog years. Don't let her hear you say that. Okay, there we go. Are you there? There we go. Then pop everything, and there it is.
Whoa.
And you're able to just flip away. But sometimes you got to wait for it to load up. So it'll load up like the other pages. It'll load up certain pages. So you would think it's blank, but it's not, because it's still loading those pages up. But pretty much that's it. And then it helps a lot because I could tell the flow of the story instead of actually looking at it from page to page to page to page. I'm actually able to turn the page. And even with one of them, like recently, I got to the end of the book. By just being able to shift one of the pages over, changed the whole flow of the story. So I was like, oh, this is, towards the end of the book, I was like, oh, this is great. So let me just get that. See, and it took a while for it to load the other pages, but yeah, it works. It definitely works. I love it. This is my favorite part of this program. Like, it really helps with the flow, and you see, and then you can see like sometimes like you'll see where it cuts off on you. So if you have to move a panel a little further up, and you'll see where you need to go with it. So yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I was checking out how Phobos was looking so far with that, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Nice feature.
Definitely helps you. Yeah, and to me, it's a nice feature because it also inspires you, because you're like, oh yeah, that's how it's gonna look. Let me keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So right now I'm doing like a crowd shot, and I'm just pulling up all the characters that I've done before, and just rendering them out. I can't talk right now.
Oops. Gotta get
Jason,
someone.
nobody's art is showing.
Oh man. Ooh.
Oh. Wow. Everybody said the same thing. And wait a minute. So that's how you're doing the panels? That's dope.
Is he there?
Zach.
We're gonna
He's
start
muted.
doing
We're all
guys,
just admiring
guys.
his work.
He said, guys.
He's wrangling the kids.
Oh.
There's your screen, Jessica.
All right.
So this is about Jessica. This is about this character's fairy character,
She's a space angel.
a space angel. That's what's up.
Yes. Not just a fairy.
She's better
yeah.
than a fairy. Actually, she
So
knows
much
about
better than
space.
fairy. Yeah, she has kind of
Absolutely.
fairy-like things. But
Right. That's why I said that's what's up. And this is a comic, or this is a children's, or a combination of the two.
it's a mixture, I guess. Yeah, it's a combination. But this is actually just a little introduction to the character. It's only 30 pages, and so
That's a comic.
yeah, it's a comic, but it's
that's how much a comic
introduction to
is.
the graphic novel.
Right.
It's the teaser trailer, if you
That's
will.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with
So,
that. There's nothing
As
wrong
I'm-
with that. Then.
well, and the cool thing is it's giving me a chance to figure out how I want to render it and what I want to do. So these are the first few pages. I'm going back and kind of tweaking and changing some things now that I've figured out more of the style I want to do it in. So
My niece would love this.
yeah.
Yeah, my niece would love this. Let me know when it's. I'll definitely pick up a copy
Oh
from
my goodness.
for her.
Yes, I
She will love it. She's a phenomenal little artist. She's doing her thing. It's amazing how she catches on so fast. And I buy her all kinds of stuff. She loves Jason's books, and I'm definitely interested in just showing that, especially when it comes to women in the industry. You know, strong women doing their thing, because a lot of times there's a lot of people don't think women are actually doing this kind of work. So that's definitely. And you colored everything yourself? Jesus, I so hate you guys. I hate people that can draw and color.
Oh, don't be hating, because I've been struggling. half the battle just trying to figure out what I want, like what style I want, because there's so many choices. And
right.
And I was trained. I guess you could say I was trained as a painter, and
Okay.
you make your own one-off image, and it doesn't translate very well for comics. It just takes too long. So I'm trying to break that habit right now. It's just,
Right.
I mean, right now I'm spending way too much time on this, and I've thought a lot how I need to really pull it back when I actually do the graphic novel. I've seriously been thinking about inking traditionally, or doing a hybrid, maybe doing a little bit traditional inks and then doing some digital. But because it's so easy just to zoom in to 300% and noodle away for an hour. I'm not getting anything done. So
Yes.
anyways, that's my battle I'm working on right now.
What happened?
Nope, we got someone.
No, that's great though. That definitely is great. I'm just gonna personally just pay somebody. I'm not. I got time. It's just. I'm gonna learn.
That's not
but
a bad decision at all.
yeah. I just can't. It looks like it's amazing. It looks great. I tried it for like one of my characters. Jason actually critiqued it for me. He was like, "Oh, it looks like you've been doing this a while." I said, "It took me like 3 to 4 hours just to do the one face." I was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
Nah.
Really,
I
you
was
got to
like,
really bring it, like hone it in, and that's the biggest struggle right now.
It's a different art form all to itself, and you don't realize it. Like growing up, you see the inker, the artist, the colorist. You don't realize like these dudes, because the artist gets like most of the praise. Like this guy gets everything, and everybody else kind of dwindles underneath. But now it's like, now that I know exactly how it is, it's just like, wow, like everything in itself is an art form, especially coloring. Coloring will make or break your book completely.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Oh man, yeah, I have major respect for them now.
Yeah, I can't do it.
White.
Keep hearing the dinging. Is that my phone? Someone texting?
Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is what I want to do.
All right. I have an update now on my page. I want to see if you guys.
I was gonna say I want to see what you're doing. We're already 2 hours over or something like that. So.
No, we're not. Oh,
hour 15. Hour 15. My bad.
Right.
What are you, the
I said
timekeeper?
I'd- 3. Who needs to eat at 3? Okay.
Who needs to eat it all?
Okay. So Zach here, yeah. So Zach,
Wow.
I used all your guys' advice, kind of. I think.
Oh
So-
yes, love it.
So I shrunk this down. He's yelling at her as she's going through the thing. It gets darker and darker, and then you hear this kind of crackling noise, and then that keys in the I'll change these word blends, but that keys in the radio announcer type thing, and not radio, the little sound of this guy.
Are you gonna do an electrical tail?
Yeah.
You're doing it right now.
I'll have to do something.
Ignore
like
me.
Yeah, you'll need to do something with the boxes, but
Yeah, but that's totally going to be done later. And
It's beautiful.
and then you see them going into the light. The little skull is talking, and then they react to it, and then they fall down the cliff as it's laughing.
Perfect storytelling.
It's really nice.
and look how much you got done in that period of time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go cry a little, but
Don't cry for
or
me.
be inspired.
There you go. Yeah.
I like that skull. No talking.
Now, Jason, do you get more work done when we're not on this with you?
I think he said that he wanted to keep doing it because of how
you
much work he
guys-
got.
Yeah, when I come on here, it kind of keeps me motivated to keep my butt in the chair, and I keep getting the page done. And then I try to also have a page done every day so that I can, give it to patrons and stuff. So this I'll probably still work on it a little bit more, obviously with the coloring. I probably won't give this one to my colorist because it's so specific that I'll just do it myself. But yesterday's page I gave to him.
Oh, I
So
didn't know you had a colorist for this. That's neat.
yeah, so I'll do color keys. So for instance, I did this one. I've done most of these for number 3. And then yesterday I did this one, but I just gave it to him to color. So, but he can use this as reference, So now the lighting's figured out for him, and he just has to color it in.
Is that
So-
Dracula?
The
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 freaky
vampire?
little thing that she's holding.
yeah, that's Phobos. So he's a vampire who was stuck in mid-transformation, and he's really worthless and pathetic right now. But he used to be like 700 years ago. He ruled the world with his.
Not to get into spoiler territory, but do you have like a finished version of what? Oh, not even finished version. Do you have a version of what he used to look like before he got stuck, like in mid-transformation, like his human form and his?
Well, I do have. I have hinted at it in the first book. Let me pull it up.
You would think I would know. I have the first book.
If my computer would pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
I just the very oldest version. I made a character that was inspired by Spawn. It actually looked like Spawn, and because I grew up in the 90s, so that was my wow. I just did this. It's kind of a
Nice.
It's just a hint at
Mhm.
What he
shape
looks
and
like, what his shape
what
and
he
stuff.
looked
That's
like
dope.
before. Yeah.
Oh no, don't get it twisted. I got all kinds of Spawn capes going on towards the end of this book. That's a hint of everything I love towards the end of this book. A little anime type fight scene. Like, trust me, everybody's inspired in their own ways.
Yeah.
Everything that you dealt with growing up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up since I got the page done. Let's see. Why don't we go around and everyone can give a little shout out to their links and anything you guys want to show, any place you want to direct people to, mailing lists or social media accounts, anything like that. Well, I'll start so you guys can get your screens ready. I got cognitive drawing going on right now. If you guys want to learn to draw, this is the way I taught myself how to draw. I didn't really have access to money to go to art school or fancy teachers, and I was in the middle of nowhere, and this is kind of the way I taught myself to draw. So I've developed it into a little book, and 160 pages, 90 days lessons, and if you go through the whole book, I believe you will be able to draw the male figure a lot better. So anyway, that's what's happening right now. We're almost passing 35,000, so that's awesome. Got 6 days to go, so jump in if you can. And also, if you guys become a member on, what is this, on YouTube? If you guys become a YouTube member, part of the Brew Crew, I'll give you a link to be able to read Phobos, so you'll be able to actually have the password to get into this website to actually read all the pages. I just posted all the pages for issue 3 that I've been working on these live streams. I still need to post the first 200 pages, which is from issues 1 and 2. But you can get that by becoming a Brew Crew member or becoming a patron of mine. All right, let's see. Steve, let's go to you first.
Yeah, I am Steve Conge. You can reach me at s.cange. Instagram is my preferred. But this is Cure for Utopia. This is my book. This is also the website. Oh, look at that! Look at that handsome face. Oh man, it's all color. It's all color coordinated. So you can reach me at cureforutopia.com. This is where you can sign up for my mailing list. If you go onto the mailing list, I will be updating everybody on my mailing list before I update anybody else. All right. So once again, it's cureforutopia.com, and my preferred way of connecting is Instagram. s.cange, C-A-N-G-E.
All right. Perfect. And Fuzzy.
Yeah, so you can find me on all the social media at Fuzzy Comics with 3 Z's. And right now I've got my short story for the Webtoons contest going on. And it's called Dead Air. It's a Twilight Zone style short story about a kid who finds a radio, and some interesting things are being broadcast. If I do well enough, if it does well enough on this contest, then I have a long form version of the story that includes these 2 characters here. So if you can help out in any way, subscribe to the comic and like and comment and all that good stuff.
All right. Dead Air. I highly recommend it. Okay, Zach, you're on screen. Working magic.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ZachDB or ZachDB Illustration. Right there. And I have my comic still in demand on Indiegogo called Golma. That's why I am the Golma guy. And it's a fun action adventure graphic novel.
Nice. And then we got Jessica.
So you can find me at jessicavanderpaul.com. You can also find me on Instagram at vanderjess10. And I do children's books and sequential art and some other just drawings and a few paintings. So come check me out. Follow me on Instagram. I would love to see you. Oh, login to continue. Thanks, Instagram. I'd love to see you there.
All right. Oops. Sorry. Whoa.
No.
How do I get rid of this? Okay, guys. Thanks for hanging out again. Thanks for helping me get a page done. And we will hopefully tomorrow.
Thank you.